The rising cost of food. This week's Consumer Price Index report revealing prices for groceries.
Do you think you already know all of Aldi's secrets? Not even close. Behind those tidy shelves and unbelievably cheap prices lies an operating system so smart, it makes big box supermarkets nervous. From why they scan faster than anyone else, to how they can save millions of dollars a year, it's all in these 12 secrets that only Aldi employees really understand. If you've ever shopped there, what comes next will make you see Aldi in a completely different light. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 12. The mystery cart. Not everyone knows that behind Aldi's simple shelves and minimal staff is an extremely strict quality control system, one that even surprises many people in the retail industry. Aldi calls it the mystery cart, a secret nationwide internal audit program designed to ensure every product you pick up in Texas or New York is identical in quality down to the tiniest detail. Every month, the company sends undercover shoppers to every store. They randomly select a full cart of items, from milk, bread, and fruit to canned goods, then ship the whole thing back to Aldi's private testing center. There, every single product is checked for freshness, taste, weight, packaging, and even label price accuracy. Just one tiny mistake, like a blurry sticker, spoiled fruit, or a mispriced tag, and that store gets an immediate violation and loses points in the employee competition. It doesn't stop there. Aldi also tracks customer complaints to spot repeat offenders. If the same item gets multiple complaints, the entire batch is pulled for retesting at the supplier. Stores with low-quality scores lose their quarterly bonuses, while those that keep high scores for months get extra sales incentives. That's why Aldi employees stay motivated to keep everything perfect down to the detail. Even without constant cameras, they work like they're being inspected every single day. Thanks to the mystery cart, shoppers can trust that every Aldi product has passed multiple layers of checks, not just at the supplier, but right inside the store. 11. The trick to staying cheap without cutting quality. If one thing makes Aldi a true savings phenomenon, it's their ability to keep prices unbelievably low while still delivering quality. They don't run flashy ads, throw confusing sales, or do buy one get one shock deals like the big chains. Yet they always win on price. The secret is in the smart details of how they run things. Aldi saves money in places most people never notice. They don't hire cart pushers. Instead, customers manage carts with a quarter deposit, saving millions of dollars a year and keeping the parking lot tidy. They don't pay staff to bag groceries. You do it yourself, and in return, you get the lowest prices in town. Instead of a huge marketing team, Aldi focuses on the one thing that brings customers back: real product value. Even product displays are different. No staff rearranging shelves, just goods left in the supplier's cardboard shipping boxes. That saves time and packaging costs. Many boxes are designed to do double duty: ship the product and serve as the shelf display. Just cut the top off and you're done. No extra minute or penny spent. Most importantly, Aldi carries only about 1,400 items, roughly 1/10 of a traditional supermarket. Fewer choices mean bigger bulk buys, better supplier deals, and easier quality control. Nearly everything is an Aldi private label brand, made in the same factories as famous name brands, only the packaging and price are different. 10. Aldi Spices, McCormick. Name brand taste at budget prices. If you've ever picked up an Aldi spice jar and wondered why the smell feels so familiar, there's a reason. Many spices on Aldi's shelves are made in the exact same McCormick factories, the world's top spice brand, famous for prices that aren't exactly wallet-friendly. Same recipe, same production line, just a different sticker. And Aldi's version costs about a quarter of the price. That's the psychological blow that keeps the big guys on edge. Aldi knows shoppers don't just want cheap, they want quality. So instead of stocking vague, no-name products, they partner directly with factories that supply major brands. By cutting out middlemen, advertising, and fancy displays, Aldi sells premium goods at everyday prices and still turns a profit. In other words, you're getting McCormick flavor without paying for the logo. A perfect example is everything bagel seasoning, the cult favorite at Trader Joe's. At Aldi, you can buy an identical jar, down to every salt crystal and sesame seed for the price of a morning coffee. Same goes for basics like oregano, paprika, and garlic powder. The scent, flavor, and texture are indistinguishable from the name brand because they actually come from the same place. Plenty of people have done side-by-side taste tests and found zero difference. Same color, same aroma, same mild kick, just a different price tag. And that's exactly what Aldi wants. Make the brand secondary and let quality be the thing you actually take home. 9. Mistake when buying hygiene products at Aldi. There's a trap that many Aldi shoppers have fallen into, thinking everything in the store is cheap, so they casually toss toilet paper, shampoo, and toothpaste into the cart. But by the time you walk out of checkout, you might have spent a few extra dollars without even realizing it. Aldi is famous for low food prices, but when it comes to personal hygiene and household essentials, the story is completely different. It sounds strange, but this is a very clever strategy. Aldi doesn't compete aggressively in this category because they know customers mainly come to Aldi for food and basic groceries. Toilet paper, shampoo, or dish soap, these side items that get less attention, often cost the same as, or even slightly more than, at Walmart, Target, or Dollar General. Someone once compared, the same 6-roll pack of paper towels is $6.99 at Aldi, while at Walmart it's only $5.48. A small difference, but over time that amount adds up to no small sum. The main reason is that Aldi doesn't import large volumes of hygiene products like they do with food, so they lack the leverage to negotiate better prices. Many hygiene items here are third-party brands, not Aldi's private label, which drives up costs. On top of that, Aldi doesn't accept manufacturer coupons, while other big chains often roll out deep discounts or combo deals for this category. So, if you're planning to buy shampoo, shaving cream, or toilet paper, pause for a second. Pull out your phone and check prices at other chains before swiping your card. Like the video if this surprised you. 8. Wednesday, the golden day to hunt Aldi finds. If you love the thrill of deal hunting, then at Aldi, Wednesday is the golden day, like a mini Black Friday that happens every week. Not everyone knows this, but Wednesday is when Aldi rotates stock and releases limited edition products called Aldi Finds, the section that savvy shoppers jokingly call the treasure aisle. And just like the name suggests, the items that appear there rarely come back a second time. You can find anything, from mini coffee makers and non-stick pans to air mattresses and outdoor rattan chairs or seasonal toys. Each week brings a new theme, a different wheel of fortune. Some people go in just for bread, but end up leaving with a $19 ice cream maker. Others wait specifically for Wednesday to stock up on early Christmas gifts, because they know that within a few hours the hot items vanish from the shelves faster than Aldi's checkout speed. What makes Aldi Finds so appealing isn't just the low price, but also the limited availability and the element of surprise. Stock is replenished once a week, and if you miss it, you'll have to wait, or you may never see that item again. Aldi deliberately creates a hunting experience like a game, so every visit feels like an adventure. That's also why this section is always packed, even when the rest of the store has plenty of empty aisles. Seasoned shoppers even have their own ritual. They hit Aldi early Wednesday morning, right after employees finish stocking. Because just a few hours late, unique items like robot vacuums or mini juicers are usually gone. 7. Aldi produces cheap yet just as fresh as big supermarkets. If a few years ago you bought apples at Aldi and were disappointed because they wilted after just one day, here's the good news. That time is over. Aldi's fruits and vegetables have completely transformed. Fresh, crisp, tasty, and long-lasting, no less than any major supermarket, with one clear difference. The price is noticeably lower. Some people joke, the same avocado costs $2 at Whole Foods, but only 89 cents at Aldi, and they ripen at the same time, with the same softness. The secret lies in Aldi's supply chain management. They don't store inventory in warehouses for too long like many other chains. Instead, they bring in stock on a fast rotation, refreshed almost daily. Produce goes straight from distributors to stores, skipping multiple middlemen, so it reaches customers still naturally fresh. Plus, because Aldi carries fewer items, inventory turns over quickly, meaning there's no room for old produce to linger on shelves. On top of that, Aldi sources smartly. They prioritize partnerships with local farms in the area to cut transportation costs and maintain freshness. A shipment of tomatoes from a local farm reaches the store in just a few hours, instead of several days when imported from another state. This approach not only preserves flavor, but also reduces emissions, perfectly in line with the green philosophy Aldi always pursues. What's worth noting is that, despite the low prices, Aldi doesn't skimp on quality control. They have their own standards for each type of fruit and vegetable, from ripeness and moisture to size. If a product doesn't meet the mark, staff have the authority to reject it right at receiving, never letting it hit the shelves. That's why you rarely see wilted greens or bruised fruit at Aldi like you might at other discount stores. 6. Don't fall for the brand name trap. This is one of the most common mistakes when shopping at Aldi, assuming everything there is cheaper than anywhere else. Not quite true. Aldi is truly famous for its private label products. Great prices, high quality. But when it comes to big brand names, you're often paying more without realizing it. It sounds counterintuitive, but it makes perfect sense. Aldi never intended to build a model based on competing with famous brands. They only stock a few familiar items like Goldfish, Pepsi, or Kellogg's to make shoppers feel comfortable. Seeing a familiar label makes it easier to open your wallet. But because they order in small quantities, they don't get the deep discounts that giant supermarket chains do. As a result, brand name products at Aldi are often 10 to 30% more expensive than at Walmart, Target, or Kroger. Most people don't notice this because once you're used to the feeling that Aldi is the cheapest place, you stop comparing individual prices. You see that familiar box of Goldfish and assume it's a better deal, but in reality, the big supermarkets might be running a buy two, get one free deal, or accepting manufacturer coupons at that very moment, while Aldi doesn't take any coupons at all. Bottom line, you buy the right product, but in the wrong store. 5. Double barcodes for lightning-fast scanning. If you've ever been amazed at how Aldi cashiers scan items so fast you barely have time to bag your groceries, here's the secret. It's not superhuman skill. It's a tiny detail on the packaging called double, or even triple barcodes. While most supermarkets print just one barcode on the back of a product, Aldi prints 2 or even 3 in different spots, so no matter how the cashier grabs it, the scanner catches it instantly. This seemingly small trick saves millions of dollars a year. Faster scanning means shorter wait times for customers, higher productivity per employee, and no need to hire extra cashiers. In fact, Aldi tracks it down to the second. Average speed is measured in items scanned per minute. Thanks to this smart packaging design, they hit numbers twice as high as other chains. And that efficiency helps keep prices low for you. On top of that, these hidden barcodes help Aldi manage inventory fast and accurately. The moment an item is scanned, the system instantly updates shelf stock and automatically calculates what needs to be ordered for the next day. This keeps shelves full without overstocking, cutting warehouse costs and waste. Next time you're at Aldi, take a look. Nearly every product has 2 or 3 barcode strips scattered around. It's these little details that set Aldi apart. A brand that doesn't brag about technology but quietly optimizes every second of your shopping experience. 4. Super cheap milk. If you ask loyal Aldi customers what item keeps them coming back the most, the answer comes instantly: milk. Just look at the price tag, and you'll understand why people are willing to drive a few extra blocks for a gallon here. While other supermarkets might charge nearly $4, Aldi sometimes sells it for around $2. So cheap, it leaves even the big chains wondering, how do they do it? The truth is, this is one of Aldi's smartest strategic moves. They deliberately sell milk below cost, treating it as a loss leader. They know no one comes to the store just for one carton of milk. You'll walk past aisles full of bread, cheese, and fruit, and you're almost guaranteed to toss a few extra items into your cart. One loss on milk, but a full basket of profit in return. This tactic is so effective it's become legendary in the retail world. 3. Get cash back with 3 secret apps. Many people don't realize that even though Aldi doesn't accept manufacturer coupons, you can still get cash back just by using 3 secret apps that savvy shoppers are whispering about: Ibotta, Checkout 51, and Fetch Rewards. The names sound high-tech, but they're surprisingly easy to use. When combined correctly, they turn every Aldi trip into a mini cashback session. The process is simple. Snap a photo of your receipt after checkout, and the system automatically detects qualifying items and sends you back a few cents or even a few dollars per product. It sounds small, but over a month, many people save $20 to $50 without doing anything extra. With Aldi's already low prices, this cashback is like getting double discounts. You pay less than at big supermarkets and then get money returned on top. The cool part is each app has its own strength. Ibotta focuses on popular food items like milk, bread, and breakfast products. Checkout 51 offers more deals on canned goods or fresh produce. Fetch Rewards gives points for nearly every receipt you upload, no matter what you buy. Those points can be redeemed for Amazon, Starbucks, or even virtual Visa gift cards for your next shopping trip. 2. The Double Guarantee Policy. In the retail world, few supermarket chains dare to make a promise as bold as Aldi does. Here, if you buy something you're not happy with, even for the smallest reason, they don't just give you a full refund. They also replace it with a brand new item. This is called the double guarantee, a double promise, and it's a symbol of Aldi's absolute confidence in its quality. It sounds simple, but behind it is a real philosophy. If our product isn't good enough for you to buy again, we'll make you want to trust us one more time. That's why Aldi doesn't need flashy ads to protect its brand. They build trust through action. No complicated forms, no long receipts required. Just bring the item to the service desk, and the staff will happily swap it out. The best part? They rarely ask why. They trust you, and they trust their own products. 1. Secret discount trick right at checkout. If you're the type who loves snagging a deal on the spot, Aldi has a little-known discount trick, and it happens right in front of you, at the register. No codes, no apps. Just pay attention and know when to speak up. At Aldi, cashiers have the power to give instant discounts on slightly damaged items. All you have to do is point out the issue and politely ask, "Can you take a little off for this?" Chances are you'll get a few % off on the spot. No manager approval, no waiting. This isn't a public promotion. It's a flexible internal policy to avoid throwing out imperfect but still good products. Aldi knows customers don't always need perfection. They just want fairness. A slightly soft pack of tomatoes, a laundry detergent with a cracked label. If you're okay buying it, they're happy to offer a better price. It saves money, reduces waste, and everyone wins. Aldi isn't just a place to save money. It's a living example of smart operations in a world of rising prices. So when you walk into Aldi, don't just think about spending less. Think of it as learning to shop smarter, paying little but getting so much more. Which tip from the video surprised you the most?
Aldi's entering the supermarket delivery game.
Have you ever left Aldi with a bill that shocked you, wondering what you missed? The truth is, behind those simple shelves lies a series of secrets that, if you don't know, could cost you millions of dong each year without you realizing. From tiny symbols on price tags to the golden hours only savvy shoppers know, or award-winning products priced like a fast food meal. They're all waiting for you to discover. In this video, I'll reveal 12 little-known secrets to turn every Aldi trip into a true treasure hunt. If you've ever been curious about this, give it a like. One, Aldi is the cheapest supermarket in America. When it comes to the race for low prices in the US, Walmart is often the name that gets the most attention. But in reality, the crown belongs to Aldi, a quiet, no-frills name that makes giant retail corporations wary. Multiple independent surveys have proven that for a basket of essentials like milk, eggs, bread, vegetables, and even pasta, checking out at Aldi can save you up to 40% compared to Walmart, Kroger, or Target. That number might sound small, but over a year, it could leave more than $1,000 in your pocket. Enough for a vacation, a credit card payment, or simply a sigh of relief in a life already full of pressures. What's remarkable is that cheap doesn't mean low quality. Aldi follows a less is more approach. They cut out fancy brands and reduce advertising costs, but focus on investing in their private labels. Many Aldi products have outperformed big brands in blind taste tests, from snacks to wine. In fact, there's a wine priced just over $7 that beat out a $25 bottle in an international competition. At Aldi, you don't buy logos or flashy packaging. You buy real value. That's why Aldi is called the cheapest supermarket in America. Not because of loud discounts, but because from the ground up, their system is designed to ensure you always get more for your money. 2. The refundable cart deposit. If it's your first time at Aldi, you might be surprised to see people inserting a 25-cent coin into a slot on the shopping cart. Some even think it's a way to charge customers. But the truth is far smarter. That quarter doesn't go anywhere. You get it back when you return the cart to its place. But in the meantime, it acts as an invisible tether, encouraging customers to be more responsible and not leave carts scattered in the parking lot. This saves Aldi a huge amount of money. Think about it. Other supermarkets hire entire teams just to collect carts every day. Every hour of labor, every employee is a cost. And in the end, customers bear that cost through higher prices on their bills. Aldi is different. They rely on customers' responsibility, saving millions of dollars each year. And here's the fun part. Those savings are passed on to every product you buy. That's why your bill at Aldi is always lower than the competition. 3. The secret code on price tags. If you're used to shopping at supermarkets and only glancing at the big numbers on price tags, at Aldi, you're missing one of the most intriguing hidden codes. It's the tiny letter D tucked in the corner of the price tag. It might seem meaningless, but it's actually a warning. That product is about to be discontinued. In other words, when you see a D, it's the last time that item will appear on Aldi's shelves. Imagine passing by a scented candle you love thinking, "I'll buy it next time." But when you return, the shelf is empty, with no promise of restocking. That pang of regret? We've all felt it. Aldi's inventory rotates quickly, so if you don't pay attention to this symbol, you might lose your chance forever. What's unique is that Aldi doesn't loudly advertise discontinued items. They let this secret hide in plain sight, like a reward for observant shoppers. Seasoned Aldi deal hunters know this symbol by heart because they understand each D is a reminder. Buy now or lose it forever. So next time you're at Aldi, don't just look at the price. Check every corner of the tag, because sometimes that tiny detail decides whether you bring home a rare treasure or leave empty-handed. 4. Secret discounts at the end of aisle shelves. There's a habit many people have at Aldi that causes them to miss out, focusing only on the main shelves in the middle and rushing through their shopping. But that haste makes them overlook a golden opportunity. The secret discounted items on the end of aisle shelves. These aren't flashy sections with big signs pointing the way, but they're where Aldi quietly hides some of the best deals. Picture this. A panini press originally priced at nearly $40, neatly tucked on a side shelf for just under $10. No red tags, no glaring clearance signs. It's just sitting there, waiting for the sharp-eyed shopper. And you know, finding a treasure like this feels as thrilling as flipping over a winning scratch-off ticket. What's special is that Aldi intentionally doesn't advertise these discounts loudly. They let the items blend in, like secret rewards for those who take the time to look closer. That's why experienced shoppers never rush through Aldi. They stroll, glance side to side, and especially check the end-of-aisle shelves, where others unknowingly walk right by. So, if you've ever left Aldi thinking, "Nothing special today," it might be because you didn't slow down to observe. Next time, try changing your habit. As you turn each aisle corner, pause for a few seconds to look closely. You never know. That item you need, or didn't even know you wanted, might be waiting there at a price that makes you smile. Like if you just learned something new. 5. The golden hour on Wednesday mornings. If you've ever heard the saying, "You have to shop at the right market day," then at Aldi, there's a golden market day that savvy shoppers swear by: Wednesday mornings. This isn't just an ordinary midweek day. It's the moment Aldi rolls out its Aldi Finds, a lineup of special, extremely limited edition products. From home goods and kitchen tools to plants, wine, or gourmet foods, they all quietly appear that morning. Here's the key. The early bird gets the worm, and the latecomer gets crumbs. Imagine a high-quality cast-iron pot priced at $6, which would cost $60 elsewhere, sitting on the shelf at 9 a.m. If you stroll in leisurely by noon, chances are you'll find an empty shelf and a few regretful glances. Aldi deliberately doesn't advertise this golden hour loudly. They keep it a secret for those who pay attention. That's why seasoned customers plan ahead. Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Be at the store. For them, shopping at Aldi on that day feels like a treasure hunt. Move fast, you win. Lag behind, you lose. 6. Award-winning products at budget prices. Many people assume only expensive, heavily advertised products deserve the high-quality label. But at Aldi, the truth is entirely different. Among the humble shelves and simple packaging, you'll be surprised to find hidden gems, products that have outshined big-name competitors to win international awards, yet come with shockingly low prices. Picture this. You grab a pack of Savarit's cheese crackers for just a few bucks. They might seem like ordinary snacks, but in blind taste tests, they've beaten famous brands for flavor and crunch. Or take a $7.99 bottle of rosé wine that scored higher than a $25 bottle in a prestigious wine competition. This isn't a stroke of luck. It's proof of Aldi's strategy to prioritize quality over flash. Here's the interesting part. Aldi doesn't spend on advertising or flashy celebrity endorsements. Instead, they invest in high-quality ingredients, better production processes, and keeping prices as low as possible. That's why many first-time Aldi shoppers are shocked, saying, "I can't believe something this cheap tastes so good." So, ask yourself, are you buying flavor or a brand? Are you paying for packaging or the quality inside? Often, it's Aldi's plain, unassuming boxes that deliver an experience far beyond expectations. 7. Budget-friendly dupe home goods. One of the most surprising moments for Aldi shoppers comes when they wander into the home goods section. There, among seemingly ordinary shelves, you might stumble across dupes, near-perfect replicas of high-end brands at a fraction of the price. A prime example is the Crofton cast iron pot, nearly indistinguishable from a Le Creuset, a brand that costs hundreds of dollars. At Aldi, you can take it home for about $40. What's even better? The quality holds up. Your soup still tastes rich, your braised dishes come out tender, and your stews are just as fragrant. Ask yourself, would a $300 pot make your soup 10 times tastier? The answer is likely no. So why pay hundreds extra just for a brand logo on the handle? This is how Aldi redefines value. Instead of charging for prestige, they let you pay for real performance. And because of this, Aldi's dupes disappear from shelves fast. Savvy shoppers know, if you don't act quickly, you'll come back to an empty spot the next day. 8. Energy-saving products. When people think of Aldi, they often picture cheap groceries. But if you're observant, you'll notice a treasure trove of small but mighty items among those simple aisles, energy-saving products that quietly help you cut daily costs. A great example is a foldable drying rack for around $10. It looks ordinary, but using it instead of a dryer can save you dozens of dollars a year on electricity. In no time, the product pays for itself, and every year after that is pure savings. Here's the thing. Aldi doesn't make a big fuss about these items. They sit quietly in the home goods section, waiting for sharp-eyed shoppers. From energy-efficient light bulbs to timed power strips and smart storage containers, these products are designed to help you use less energy while staying just as convenient. Next time you're at Aldi, don't just focus on your grocery cart. Take a look at these small items. They're the key to making your utility bills a little lighter every day. 9. Seasonal items vanish quickly. There's an unwritten rule at Aldi that frequent shoppers learn the hard way. Seasonal items come and go faster than you can blink. Around the holidays, you might see shelves brimming with Christmas chocolates, butter cookies, or sparkly gift boxes. Hesitate for a few days, come back, and they're gone. No restocking, no second chances. Aldi operates on a one-batch-only rule for seasonal products. Each item appears once, and it's first come, first served. This creates a thrilling hunt, like snagging concert tickets or an online flash sale. Many customers share stories of missing out on a pumpkin cheesecake or an outdoor BBQ set. A loss they'll never forget. What's intriguing is that Aldi keeps their seasonal product lists under wraps. You only discover them when they hit the shelves. This makes every shopping trip feel like a game of surprises. You never know what treasure you'll find. That's why seasoned shoppers have learned, don't wait. If it feels right, buy it now. So, if you've ever thought, I'll get it tomorrow, remember, at Aldi, tomorrow often means never again. Seasonal items test your decisiveness, and sometimes a quick decision in a few minutes brings home a gem others will only regret missing. 10. Special frozen products. If there's one area in Aldi that sparks both excitement and regret, it's definitely the freezer section. This is the secret treasure chest, where unique products pop up unexpectedly and vanish so fast that many shoppers miss them entirely. From creamy lobster mac and cheese to soft shrimp dumplings or pre-roasted honey-glazed carrots, these items offer restaurant-quality flavor at the price of a fast food meal. Here's the catch. Aldi doesn't give you a heads up. No flyers, no big ads. Just one day, you open the freezer door and spot something new and exciting. If you hesitate thinking, "I'll grab it next week," you're almost guaranteed to return to an empty shelf. With Aldi's lean inventory system, they bring in small batches, and once they're gone, making way for the next surprise. This makes the freezer section a must-visit for savvy shoppers. They stop by regularly, not just for essential frozen goods, but to hunt for whatever surprise Aldi has in store. It could be a restaurant-worthy dish for a few bucks, or a new item that turns a weekday dinner into something memorable. 11. Minimalist stores to keep prices low. Walking into Aldi, first-time shoppers might feel a bit surprised. No background music, no fancy decorations, and products often displayed right in their shipping boxes. But this simplicity is Aldi's secret weapon for keeping prices lower than any competitor. Instead of spending on dazzling lights or staff to bag your groceries, they cut out all unnecessary costs, so you only pay for what matters most: the food and products in your cart. Do you really need someone bagging your groceries if it means an extra dollar on your milk? Or do you need soothing music while shopping if it adds to the cost of your bread? For most people, the answer is no. Aldi understands consumer psychology, especially in times of rising prices. People are happy to bring their own bags and return their own carts if it means a lighter bill at the end. This minimalist approach doesn't just save money, it saves time. Products go straight from trucks to shelves, skipping elaborate displays. Fewer staff are needed, but they work more efficiently. The result? Faster checkouts, lower prices, and everything streamlined and sensible. 12. Super efficient logistics system. If Aldi were a machine, its heart would be its ultra-efficient logistics system. Every detail, from the coin deposit carts to the lightning-fast checkout scanners, is part of a carefully calculated plan to save every second and every cent. Have you noticed that barcodes on Aldi products are larger and printed on multiple sides? This lets cashiers scan without flipping items around. A quick swipe, a beep, and it's done. On average, Aldi cashiers are twice as fast as those at traditional supermarkets. And when scanning's done, instead of needing extra staff to bag groceries, you take your items to a separate table to pack as you like. It's fast, simple, and cost-effective. This efficiency extends beyond the checkout. Aldi's entire operation follows a minimal-touch principle. Shipping boxes go straight from trucks to shelves. No fancy arranging is needed. This means products move less, require less labor, and, naturally, cost less. This is why Aldi can keep prices consistently low. Everything is designed around two goals: speed and cost. And you're the one who benefits. Every time you push your cart out to the parking lot with a bill a few dollars lighter, you're seeing the power of a logistics system refined to near perfection. Shopping at Aldi isn't just about buying cheaper groceries. It's about learning to shop smarter. From tiny symbols on price tags to Wednesday's golden hours, award-winning products, or hidden deals at the end of aisles, it all shows that real savings come from being observant and proactive. Don't let these secrets pass you by only to regret it later. The next time you step into Aldi, look closer, act faster, and seize every opportunity. Your wallet will feel lighter, and your shopping experience will be so much more exciting. Have you already tried any of these secrets? Share your story so others can learn too. You may have shopped at Aldi dozens of times, carefully comparing prices, moving quickly, and feeling confident in your choices, but chances are you're still shopping the way Aldi wants you to, not the way that benefits you the most. That's because Aldi doesn't just sell low-priced groceries. They sell a system designed to guide shopper behavior, from how you grab a cart, move through the aisles, and choose products to that familiar feeling of "this is a great deal." If you don't understand the mechanics behind it, you might save in the right places, but just as easily overspend in the wrong ones. These are the insights that help you see the rules of the game more clearly, so the next time you walk into Aldi, you control the cart, not the other way around. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. The 25-cent cart deposit system. Right from the parking lot, Aldi shows how differently it thinks compared to the rest of the retail industry. Shopping carts are chained together, and you need a 25-cent coin to unlock one. The first time many people encounter this, they feel annoyed or inconvenienced, and some even think Aldi is being cheap. In reality, this is one of Aldi's smartest moves. The 25 cents isn't a fee, it's a behavioral trigger. Once you put the coin in, you automatically take responsibility for that cart. You use it, finish shopping, and return it to get your quarter back. No employees chasing carts around the lot. No carts rolling into other people's cars. No money spent repairing damaged carts. With one small action from the customer, Aldi eliminates a massive cost that other supermarkets quietly absorb every year. At many large chains, collecting and replacing shopping carts can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per store. Aldi removes that expense entirely, not by cutting service, but by getting customers to voluntarily do what should already be done. And the system almost runs itself. If someone leaves a cart behind, there's always another shopper happy to return it in exchange for the quarter. No reminder signs, no staff monitoring the lot. More importantly, this system creates a very different shopping rhythm. People who shop at Aldi tend to buy efficiently, get what they need, then leave. There's less wandering around with an empty cart, stopping at extra sections just to look. The cart becomes a functional tool, not an excuse to add more items. Chocolate and European imported products. If there's one section that surprises most people when they walk into Aldi, it's the chocolate aisle and the European imported items. Not because of fancy displays or elaborate packaging, but because of a strange, almost suspicious feeling. The price seems far too low for what you're holding. Many shoppers pick up a chocolate bar and flip it over a few times just to make sure they didn't misread the price. This isn't luck. Aldi has a very real historical advantage. The company was founded in Europe and worked directly with manufacturers in Germany, Belgium, Ireland, and France decades before expanding into the US. Those unfamiliar-sounding chocolate brands aren't knockoffs. They're authentic products made to European standards using real cocoa butter, clearly defined cocoa percentages, and production processes designed for demanding markets. Unlike many other retailers, Aldi doesn't turn chocolate into a luxury accessory. They don't tell long brand stories, slap on artisan labels, or inflate prices through packaging. What they cut is the cost that usually forces shoppers to pay 3 or 4 times more elsewhere. You're not paying for advertising, premium shelf space, or a manufactured sense of luxury. You're paying for ingredients and craftsmanship. That said, this is also where many shoppers make mistakes if they're not paying attention. Aldi operates in two very different worlds. One side is proper European imported chocolate, usually placed on higher shelves with clean packaging and clearly labeled country of origin. The other side is ultra-cheap seasonal candy wrapped in plastic, overly sweet, and meant more for novelty than quality. Choose the wrong one, and the experience is completely different. The FOMO strategy behind the Aldi finds aisle. You walk into Aldi with a simple list: eggs, milk, vegetables. But then you pass the aisle running through the center of the store, the one that doesn't look like any regular grocery section, and that's where things start to drift. That area is called Aldi Finds. What makes this section powerful isn't any single product, but the sense of urgency it creates. Items here aren't permanent. Every week brings a new batch. Quantities are limited, and once something sells out, it almost never comes back. There are no sale ending soon signs and no employees pushing urgency, yet shoppers instinctively understand one thing: if you don't grab it now, it's gone. Aldi doesn't give you much time to think. An air fryer, a set of gardening tools, solar lights, yoga mats, or seasonal decor, all placed right where you'll encounter them while you're still thinking about dinner. You didn't come to Aldi for these items, but they appear precisely when your guard is down. This strategy taps into a very familiar feeling: fear of missing out. Not because the item is truly essential, but because it seems like a great deal that's about to disappear. And as the shelf starts to empty, the feeling of "good thing, I grabbed one." Early only gets stronger. Aldi doesn't need long-term inventory clearance sales or deep discounts. They just need to sell out quickly. What makes this especially effective is that many Aldi Finds items are genuinely decent for the price. But without awareness, this section can easily turn a budget-focused grocery run into a cart full of interesting items you don't actually need. The truth about cheap wine and beer. One area that often raises eyebrows at Aldi is the wine and beer section. The prices seem almost too low to be real. The bottles look plain, the labels unfamiliar, and many people's first reaction is skepticism about quality. Yet this is where Aldi most clearly shows how it targets real value rather than surface-level luxury. Unlike large retail chains, Aldi doesn't source alcohol through layers of distributors. They work directly with wineries, breweries, and even producers that have previously supplied high-end brands. By cutting out marketing campaigns, sales reps' premium shelf placement fees, and carefully crafted brand stories, the price drops dramatically while what's inside the bottle remains largely the same. That's why many Aldi wines have quietly won international awards despite costing a fraction of comparable bottles elsewhere. Shoppers aren't promised a luxury experience. There's no dramatic lighting or background music. The bottle simply sits there letting informed buyers decide for themselves. The same approach applies to beer. Aldi doesn't chase massive brand variety. They choose fewer options, select carefully, and move inventory quickly to keep products fresh. When an item isn't burdened by unnecessary costs, a low price no longer signals low quality. It signals an efficient system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Checkout speed and efficiency-driven design. If you've ever stood in line at Aldi, you'll notice it feels very different from a typical supermarket. There's no long waiting, no awkward pauses, and almost no time to lose focus. Everything moves so quickly that first-time shoppers sometimes feel slightly rushed. But that speed isn't accidental, it's built into the system from the ground up. Aldi cashiers aren't trained to scan items while chatting. They're trained to scan fast consistently and with no wasted motion. Every product is designed with barcodes placed in easy-to-scan positions, and many items even have multiple barcodes, so there's no need to rotate the product looking for one. Pick it up, scan it, and push it aside. The rhythm is continuous, almost never broken. The checkout layout itself is different. There's more space, shorter conveyor belts, and a large holding area after the scanner where items are pushed aside immediately. Cashiers don't stop to bag groceries. That task is shifted to customers in a separate area after checkout. At first, it may feel like you're doing more work, but in return, the entire line moves significantly faster. This design allows Aldi to operate with fewer employees per shift while still handling high customer volume. One person scanning twice as fast effectively replaces two elsewhere. Fewer staff, fewer labor hours, lower operating costs, and those savings show up directly in shelf prices. Like the video if this surprised you. Product quality through blind testing. Many people walk into Aldi with a built-in assumption low prices must mean lower quality. But what frustrates major brands the most about Aldi happens in a step shoppers rarely see: blind testing. No packaging, no logos, no brand names to create trust or a sense of luxury. Just taste, texture, and real-world performance. Before a product ever reaches the shelf, Aldi pits it directly against well-known brands on the market. Testers don't know which product is Aldi's and which belongs to a major label. If Aldi's version doesn't meet or beat the competition, it simply doesn't get sold. There are no exceptions for brand recognition and no room for emotional attachment. That's why many Aldi products look unremarkable but surprise people once they try them. This approach completely flips the traditional retail model. Instead of building a brand first and then persuading shoppers to trust it, Aldi forces the product to prove its value up front. Packaging comes last. What truly matters is the real experience, something no logo can compensate for if quality falls short. For shoppers, blind testing creates a major advantage even if it's not always obvious. You're not paying for TV ads, celebrity endorsements, or elaborate box designs. You're paying for products that have passed a strict filtering process where only quality survives. The private label strategy. One of the biggest reasons people misjudge Aldi is because they focus on product names. The packaging is simple, the brand names sound unfamiliar, and they don't trigger any advertising memories, so the brain automatically labels them as cheap. But for Aldi, private labels aren't a temporary solution. They're the backbone of the entire system. Instead of competing in the brand name race, Aldi takes a different path. It creates its own brands and controls the process end to end. The company works directly with manufacturers, sets clear standards, signs long-term contracts, and purchases in large volumes. No middlemen, no paying for premium shelf placement, no TV advertising budgets. When those costs disappear, prices naturally come down. What makes this strategy work is that Aldi doesn't try to carry everything. Each product category is limited to just a few top-selling options. Fewer items mean Aldi knows exactly what it's selling, who it's selling to, and in what quantities. As a result, private labels stay focused and receive investment where it actually matters. This approach allows Aldi to do something few other chains can sustain: long-term keep prices low without relying on constant promotions. Pricing and quality stay consistent, and shoppers gradually build the habit of coming back. Warehouse-style store design. When you walk into Aldi, it often feels like stepping into a warehouse that's been open to the public. Metal shelving, cardboard boxes with the tops cut off, and products sitting directly in their shipping cases. No decorative displays, no visual flair. But this isn't carelessness, it's intentional design. Instead of unpacking individual items and rearranging them for appearance, Aldi keeps products in their boxes. Employees simply place the box on the shelf, cut it open, and move on. Stocking time drops dramatically. Items reach the shelves faster with fewer steps and fewer errors. When each store handles thousands of units per day, saving a few seconds per box adds up quickly. Aldi's aisles are also short and straight. There's no winding path designed to force shoppers past must-see displays. You can see almost the entire store within a few steps. This allows customers to shop quickly, staff to monitor the floor easily, and restocking to happen continuously without disrupting shoppers. Products stay visible. Inventory is easier to track, and empty spots are spotted and filled faster. Fewer issues mean lower operating costs. Even the price tags reflect this mindset: simple printed signs neatly placed with no flashy digital screens. European DNA and the philosophy of frugality. The feeling of shopping at Aldi is noticeably different from most American supermarkets. The space is compact, the shelves are simple, and the selection is limited but sufficient. This isn't an accident, it comes from Aldi's deeply rooted European DNA. Aldi was born in post-war Germany, where saving wasn't a lifestyle choice but a necessity for survival. The philosophy was clear: sell only what's essential, sell enough to meet needs, and avoid waste in all forms. That mindset still defines Aldi today. The store doesn't try to be entertaining to keep customers browsing longer. It wants you to come in, buy what you need, and leave. The product layout reflects this approach. Fewer brands, fewer sizes, fewer variations. Every item must justify its place on the shelf. In many other supermarkets, you'll find dozens of nearly identical options, mustard sauces and cereals that differ only slightly. At Aldi, that kind of redundancy is seen as an unnecessary cost. Fewer choices streamline the supply chain, move products faster, and reduce food waste. European shopping habits are also clearly visible. Customers shop more frequently, buy moderate quantities, prioritize fresh items, and avoid excessive stockpiling. Packaging is more compact, and portion sizes are more practical. This subtly pulls shoppers away from the buy more to save more mindset, common in the US, and toward using what they buy instead of letting it sit unused. How Aldi adapted to the US market. When Aldi expanded into the United States, it didn't simply copy and paste its European model and expect it to work. Americans shop differently, eat differently, and have different expectations. What's notable is that Aldi didn't change its core philosophy. It adjusted how that philosophy is applied to fit local habits. US Aldi stores are larger than their European originals, with wider aisles to accommodate bigger shopping carts. The product range is expanded just enough for weekly family shopping while still maintaining clear limits. Aldi didn't turn itself into a massive supermarket, it scaled up only as much as necessary. Taste preferences were also carefully adjusted. It's still private label, still direct relationships with manufacturers, but flavors, recipes, and package sizes have been Americanized. Product lines like Simply Nature, Earth-grown and specially selected, were built to match U.S. trends: organic, plant-based, convenient, and still affordable. Another major difference is speed. American shoppers are used to moving quickly and don't want to stand around. Aldi doubled down on an ultra-efficient checkout system, minimal staff, high throughput. No membership cards, no complicated coupons, and no loyalty programs to track. Everyday low prices, easy to understand, easy to buy. Aldi also learned how to communicate with American shoppers without loud advertising. Instead of pushing promotions, it lets customers discover good deals on their own and share them organically. Word of mouth is far more powerful than billboards. People come back because they feel they're getting good products at fair prices, not because they were pressured into it. Small store footprint and a streamlined assortment. One of Aldi's most noticeable differences is the feeling that everything is just enough. Stores aren't overly large, and you don't have to walk half a mile just to grab one forgotten item. With only a few straight aisles, and you can take in almost the entire store at a glance. This smaller footprint isn't because Aldi can't build bigger, it's a deliberate choice. A smaller store saves Aldi significant costs, rent, utilities, maintenance, and especially labor. Less space means fewer employees, fewer hours, and lower risk of loss. But more importantly, it changes how shoppers move through the store and make decisions. Aldi's product selection is also intentionally minimized. Instead of offering a dozen ketchup brands or countless milk options, it keeps only a few top sellers. Fewer choices may sound limiting, but in practice, it reduces decision fatigue. At Aldi, every product has to earn its place on the shelf. If something sells slowly, overlaps too much with another item, or doesn't meet quality standards, it disappears. The result is faster inventory turnover, less overstock, and fresher products. You don't see shelves packed with dozens of nearly identical items. Shopping at Aldi feels like walking into a store that's already done the filtering for you. No chasing sales, no overthinking. Everything is arranged so you can grab what you need and leave efficient, fast, and with less waste. Aldi isn't cheap because of luck or because it cuts corners on quality. Its low prices come from a series of deliberate system-level choices: small stores, streamlined assortments, private labels, warehouse-style design, fast checkouts, and carefully engineered shopping behavior. Once you understand how Aldi operates, you stop shopping based on the feeling of, "That looks cheap," and start knowing exactly where to take advantage and where to be cautious. The real value isn't in individual items, but in your ability to control your shopping cart. What surprised you most in this video? If you shop at Aldi the same way everyone else does, you're leaving money on the table every single week without even realizing it. There are shopping secrets that never appear in the weekly ad, don't show up in the app, and definitely aren't mentioned at the checkout counter. These are insider tips, things employees have accidentally revealed, or tricks only longtime shoppers know. Some products drop to half price if you catch them at the right moment. Some deals exist for just a few hours before disappearing forever. In this video, you'll learn 12 little-known secrets, and they'll help you shop at Aldi like an insider. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. The secret color codes on Aldi price tags. Have you ever looked closely at those tiny price tags on Aldi shelves? At a glance, they all look the same. Same font, same background color. But in reality, each tag is a hidden code revealing the price status and life cycle of the product. At Aldi, the colors and symbols on the price tag aren't just decoration. They tell you whether you're looking at a regular item, a temporary deal, or a product that's about to disappear for good. For example, if you see a red label with a white background, that's a true Aldi saver. These are temporary markdowns, usually lasting 1 or 2 weeks. A yellow background with red text means something different. This is a clearance item being sold off from the final batch, typically at a better price than usual. Once the stock is gone, the store won't reorder it, meaning this deal is often once and never again. But the most interesting clue is a tiny letter almost no one notices. A small D printed in the corner. It's not a random internal code. It stands for discontinued. That means the product is about to be permanently removed from Aldi's lineup. If you've ever been disappointed that your favorite chips or chocolate bar suddenly vanished, chances are you overlooked this little warning. 2. Meat. Close to its sell-by date is often 50% off in the early morning. This is a secret most people never hear about, yet it can save you a surprising amount of money every week, especially if you buy meat regularly. Aldi has a quiet, unofficial practice that only early morning shoppers benefit from. 50% off meat that's close to its sell-by date. usually right when the store opens. Most shoppers have no idea this happens. They shop in the afternoon or evening when the meat section has already been refreshed, and any markdown trays are long gone, leaving only full-price packages. Meanwhile, a small group of experienced shoppers, and even some off-duty employees, quietly show up at 8 a.m. sharp to snag the deals. They're not there for the crowds or the variety. They're there to catch the sticker the moment it goes on. Here's how it works. At the end of the previous day, employees review the meat section and identify the packages with sell-by dates approaching, usually expiring the next day. The following morning, they place a 50% off sticker on those items and restock the shelf. Each store only has a few trays, and whoever arrives first gets them. The important part is that the meat is still completely fresh, sealed properly, stored correctly, and perfectly safe to cook that day or freeze for later. If you cook it the same day or toss it into the freezer, the quality stays the same, but the price is half. It's the perfect combination of saving money and reducing food waste. 3. Use your key instead of a quarter to unlock the cart. Have you ever shown up at Aldi all ready to shop, only to realize you forgot a quarter for the cart? It's a common and frustrating moment. You don't want to shop without a cart, but you also don't want to walk back to your car digging through your wallet or ask a stranger for spare change. Here's a simple but incredibly useful secret. You can use a flat house key instead of a quarter to unlock an Aldi cart. It sounds strange, but many longtime Aldi shoppers use this trick every week. It works like this. Take a flat, round-edged house key off your keychain and insert the flat end into the cart lock, just like you would with a quarter. The lock releases instantly. You shop normally, and when you return the cart, just reattach it, and your key will pop back out. Why do so few people know this? Because it's not printed in any flyer, no employee ever mentions it, and most shoppers assume you must have a quarter to get a cart. But the locking system only needs an object that's roughly the same size. It doesn't have to be actual money. Of course, if you don't have a quarter or a suitable key, an employee can always help. They're usually happy to loan you a card or give you one that's already unlocked. But having a key that works means you're independent, avoid awkward moments, and never get stuck in the parking lot again. 4. Quick tricks to check product freshness. Aldi is known for fast product turnover, especially with produce, meat, and frozen goods. But because items move so quickly, many shoppers accidentally pick products that aren't the freshest, even if they look fine at first glance. Here are a few easy time-saving tricks to help you choose the best items every time. For prepackaged produce and fruit, instead of grabbing the packs in the front, gently check the ones toward the back or bottom. Employees typically place older stock in front and newer stock behind it. You don't need to rearrange everything. Just being aware helps you pick items with a longer shelf life, which makes a big difference if you're stocking up. For fresh meat, besides checking the date, look closely at the plastic film. If the film is puffed up or has small air bubbles, that means gas is forming inside, an early sign of bacterial activity, even if the meat is still in date. A good tray of meat should have smooth, tight packaging with no water pockets or cloudy patches on the plastic. Once you know what to look for, the difference between a freshly packed tray and one that's been sitting for days becomes very obvious. Like the video if this surprised you. 5. Use the Aldi app to plan your shopping trip. The Aldi app isn't just a place to check prices or find the nearest store. For smart shoppers, it's a powerful tool to plan ahead, control your budget, and never miss a weekly deal. In the app, the weekly ad section lets you preview all upcoming promotions, even Aldi finds that won't appear for a few more days. This is extremely useful if you're planning to buy an air fryer, a coffee maker, or a kitchen set at a good price. It helps you choose the right day to visit the store instead of showing up randomly and discovering the item is already gone. The app also includes a shopping list feature that lets you mark what you need and estimate your total spending ahead of time. Instead of standing in the aisle trying to remember everything, you just open the app, check your list, and grab exactly what you came for, avoiding overspending or getting distracted by unnecessary sales. Some experienced shoppers even use the app to compare before leaving home. If they see that toilet paper, laundry detergent, or snack items are cheaper that week than at other stores, they add them to the list and prioritize Aldi for that trip. With just a few minutes of preparation, your shopping becomes faster, cheaper, and far more intentional. 6. Score ultra-cheap deals right after the holidays. Right after every major holiday, while most people are still in relax mode, a small group of seasoned Aldi shoppers quietly head back to the store and walk away with shockingly good deals at prices you almost never see. This is one of the most overlooked shopping windows, yet it can save you a surprising amount of money, especially if you pay attention to seasonal items, holiday candy, decor, or themed packaged foods. Aldi doesn't publicly announce post-holiday clearance. There are no big banners or loud promotions, but if you look closely, you'll notice that the very next morning after holidays like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or even July 4th, all the seasonal-themed products, from pumpkin-shaped chocolates to red and white candles, from tablecloths to reindeer cookies, drop to steep clearance prices, often 50% off, sometimes even 70%. These items aren't old or low quality. They simply reflect a holiday theme that won't sell well the following week. Many savvy shoppers take advantage of this window to stock up for next year. Gift wrap, cookie tins, ornaments, and tree decor. Others grab discounted holiday candy or snacks to enjoy throughout the week because the quality is the same. Only the packaging or shape is different. Timing is everything. Because quantities are limited and not restocked, anyone who arrives late usually finds empty shelves. Some deeply discounted items disappear within hours. If you combine this tip with your Aldi app shopping list, you can quickly spot what you want and head straight for it. 7. Aldi carries high-quality European products at extremely low prices. Aldi isn't just about everyday low-price basics. For sharp-eyed shoppers, it's also one of the best places to find high-quality European products, the kind you normally only see in upscale grocery stores or specialty import shops with steep price tags. But at Aldi, the experience is surprisingly simple and budget-friendly. The reason goes back to Aldi's roots. The company began in Germany and still maintains strong relationships with European manufacturers. Because of that, imported items like chocolate, cookies, cheeses, dried pasta, and Italian-style deli meats appear regularly on the shelves at prices few U.S. stores can match. Chocolate is the clearest example. Many varieties are produced in Belgium, Switzerland, or Germany, countries famous for world-class chocolate. The packaging may look simple, even plain, but the flavor is rich and silky. Some bars cost less than $2 yet taste like something from a boutique chocolatier. Butter cookies, coffee candies, Italian-style pasta, and even Mediterranean slow-cooked tomato sauces are often imported from Europe and sold at incredibly reasonable prices. Swapping just a few items in your cart can elevate your meals with a European touch without increasing your budget. 8. The double guarantee return policy. Aldi doesn't just keep prices low, they also offer a return policy that makes many grocery chains look almost embarrassed in comparison. It's called the double guarantee, meaning you get a full refund and a replacement product if you're not satisfied. It sounds simple, but in practice, it shows just how confident Aldi is in the quality of what they sell. You don't need to give a long explanation or bring back a foot-long receipt. As long as you have the packaging or can clearly describe what went wrong, sour milk before the expiration date, bread that turned dry, or chocolate with an off smell, the staff will handle it quickly. You receive a full refund and a brand new replacement item on the spot. No interrogations, no attitude, no paperwork, and no manager approval needed. This policy isn't just great customer service. It's also Aldi's way of saying, we stand behind our products. It gives shoppers the confidence to try new items, trust private label brands, or buy something they've never seen before. Because if something doesn't suit your taste or has a rare quality issue, you're never stuck with it. This is what truly sets Aldi apart. It's not just about low prices, it's about giving you a level of reassurance that's hard to find elsewhere. And in a time when everyone has to think carefully about every dollar spent, that feeling of being fully protected when you shop is exactly what keeps customers coming back. Not because of advertising, but because of trust that's built through real experiences. 9. Categories you should avoid. Aldi has plenty of worth-it items, from fresh produce and meat to affordable European imports. But not everything deserves a spot in your cart. There are a few product categories that longtime shoppers typically avoid, simply because the prices aren't truly competitive or the quality doesn't justify the cost. First up are personal care products like shampoo, toothpaste, wet wipes, and body wash. Although Aldi offers its own private label versions of these items, comparing prices against stores like Walmart, Target, or drugstores with coupon deals shows they're often 10 to 20% more expensive. In some cases, even big-name brands like Dove or Colgate, sold at Aldi, end up costing more than the same items at your neighborhood convenience store. Next are name-brand snacks and packaged foods. While Aldi primarily focuses on private labels, they occasionally stock familiar products like Goldfish, Pringles, or popular cereals. It sounds appealing, but a closer look reveals that these items can actually be pricier at Aldi than the sale prices you'd find at Costco, Sam's Club, or even a local supermarket running weekly promotions. Imported canned goods are another category to approach carefully. The packaging often looks beautiful and eye-catching, but the flavor doesn't always match the price. Many shoppers have shared that they tried European soups, canned beans, or tinned fish only to discover the taste didn't suit them at all. 10. The golden time to score special finds. If you've ever walked through Aldi and suddenly spotted quirky but amazing items, like a mini waffle maker, a cat print doormat, a compact air fryer, or a wooden toy set for kids, you've stumbled upon the Aldi Finds section. These are limited-time products released in extremely small quantities and often never return again that year. The appeal goes beyond novelty. Aldi Finds are usually priced 30–50% lower than similar items elsewhere. But here's the catch. There's one small secret to actually getting them. Timing is everything. According to Aldi's internal stocking schedule, Wednesdays are the official reset day for Aldi Finds in most regions. Employees put out the entire week's new batch early in the morning, and that's exactly when seasoned shoppers show up. Many regulars know to be there right at opening time because even being an hour late can mean the item you wanted is already gone. It's also worth noting that a few regions restock Aldi Finds on Sundays, depending on local operations. That's why the best strategy is to check ahead on the Aldi app or official website, where they list the upcoming week's finds. Previewing the list helps you plan your trip, instead of walking in only to realize the item you wanted sold out hours earlier. 11. Some items are sold at a loss to keep shoppers coming back. Aldi operates with a lean, minimalist model. But there's one smart strategy many people don't notice. They intentionally sell certain staple items at a loss to keep customers coming back every week. These products are priced so low it's hard to believe, sometimes cheaper than anywhere else in the entire area. Yet Aldi is perfectly willing to make zero profit or even lose a little, just so you continue choosing Aldi as your go-to store. The clearest example is milk. Even when market prices fluctuate constantly, Aldi works to keep its milk cheaper than neighboring stores. Since every household buys milk regularly, the moment you come in for it, there's a high chance you'll pick up a few more items. This is the bait that draws people into the store, a classic retail tactic, but one Aldi executes exceptionally well. It's not just milk either. Eggs, baguettes, bananas, and several basic fruits and vegetables are often kept at unusually low prices. Some weeks, the price drops so much that new shoppers think it's a labeling mistake, but it's actually Aldi lowering the price intentionally to reinforce the sense that the store is always cheap. The more you feel like you're getting a good deal, the more often you come back. What's interesting is that Aldi never advertises these prices loudly. There are no loss leader signs, no flashy coupons, and no big markdown banners. Everything simply looks naturally inexpensive on the shelf, as if it's always been that way. This creates a sense of honesty and consistency that makes shoppers trust Aldi with their money. 12. Cashiers can discount damaged products on the spot. Here's something not every shopper knows. Aldi cashiers have the authority to discount slightly damaged items on the spot, without calling a manager or going through any complicated process. It's one of those quiet superpowers that makes the shopping experience much more flexible. And if you know how to use it, you can save a surprising amount every month. A dented box of crackers, a bag of apples with one bruised fruit, a candle with a torn wrapper, or a toy box with a scratched corner. These are all situations where a cashier can adjust the price immediately. All you need to do is politely point out the issue and ask if a discount is possible. In most cases, they'll gladly help. The discount isn't fixed, but it usually ranges from a small percentage off to a deeper reduction if the defect is obvious. What's great about Aldi is how fast the process is. There's no waiting for manager approval, no forms to fill out, and no come back later situations. The cashier takes one quick look, confirms the flaw, and enters the new price right at the register. It all happens within seconds, making it smooth and convenient for everyone. This reflects Aldi's approach to operations. They trust their employees and empower them to make decisions that improve the customer experience. Because of that, shoppers feel respected. No one gets turned away over a slightly damaged package, and no one has to leave behind an item they like just because the box isn't perfect. Understanding Aldi's insider secrets helps you not only save money but also shop smarter. Choosing the right products, timing your visits well, and making the most of every advantage the store offers. From reading color codes and snagging 50% off meat, to the cart hacks and seasonal clearance deals, each small detail adds real value. Once you learn to read Aldi like an insider, every trip becomes an opportunity for smarter, more efficient savings. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? This week, Aldi is dropping prices so aggressively that many shoppers are stopping to double-check the tags because they think they read them wrong. No coupons, no flash sales, just straight markdowns on familiar items that almost never get this cheap. What matters is that many of these deals are one shipment only. Once they're gone, you usually have to wait until next year for them to return. If you want to take advantage of prices that are genuinely worth it, today's list will help you avoid missing out, especially the final item, which is shockingly low even for long-time deal hunters. Take 3 seconds to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the latest videos. (13) Merry Moments Ceramic LED Christmas Tree. The Merry Moments ceramic LED Christmas tree is always one of Aldi's most wanted holiday items, and this year it's only $9.99, causing many shoppers to pause because they think they misread the price. Even though it's compact, this little decor piece brings an immediate warmth to any corner of the home. TV stand, desk, nightstand, or window ledge. The soft, non-glare LED light gives off a gentle, warm glow that creates a true holiday mood without needing heavy decorations. What makes this item so talked about is its glazed ceramic finish. The surface is glossy enough to look refined without being overly shiny, so it looks good both up close and from afar. The tiny bulbs around the tree light up with a classic vintage effect, very similar to the ceramic trees many families used to have decades ago. Because of that, this piece isn't just decoration, it also brings a nostalgic feel that makes the home cozier during year-end months. Its small size makes it easy to place anywhere without taking up space. For people living in apartments or those who don't want a full-size tree, this is a lighter, simpler option. Many shoppers even buy 2 or 3 to place in different rooms or use as a seasonal nightlight. Since this is a seasonal item, stock is always limited. When it hits shelves, it usually sells out in just a few days, especially as the holidays get closer. Aldi doesn't restock these often, so if you miss the first batch, you typically won't see it again until the following year. 12. Crofton Ceramic Nonstick Fry Pan. The Crofton Ceramic Nonstick Fry Pan gets attention every time it returns to Aldi, mainly because it's only $9.99 yet works well for everyday cooking. If you need to replace an old pan with worn-out coating or simply want a lightweight pan for quick meals, Crofton is an easy choice that doesn't require much thought. The ceramic coating inside is smooth, helping foods like eggs, pancakes, or sautéed vegetables slide easily without sticking, especially when you're trying to cut down on oil. The pan heats up quickly and distributes heat evenly, so simple dishes like stir-fried veggies, thin cuts of meat, or breakfast plates cook without hassle. The handle is wrapped in heat-resistant material, making it easier to lift, tilt, or slide food onto a plate. The tall sides reduce splatter while stirring or flipping. Another plus is how easy it is to clean. The ceramic surface prevents food from clinging, so a soft sponge is usually enough to get it spotless. Crofton isn't a high-end or heavy-duty pan, but it matches what many households actually need. Easy to use, easy to clean, space-saving, and budget-friendly. 11. Belavi Adjustable Storage Shelf. The Balavi adjustable storage shelf is a go-to item simply because it helps make use of small, awkward spaces without requiring major changes. At around $14.99, it's an easy, practical buy for areas that need just a bit more storage. Under the sink, bathroom corners, next to the washer or inside kitchen cabinets. Straight out of the box, the structure is simple and clear. The metal frame is lightweight yet sturdy, easy to lift and move without feeling flimsy. The key feature is its adjustable width, which lets you expand or shrink the shelf to fit into narrow spaces where standard shelves won't fit. The surface consists of parallel metal bars, allowing airflow and preventing water buildup if you use it in the bathroom. Some people also use it as a divider shelf inside cabinets, making the space look tidier and preventing items from stacking on top of each other. Assembly is straightforward. Just twist and snap the pieces into place. No screwdriver or tools needed. Even older adults or people unfamiliar with DIY furniture can put it together. And when you need to move it, you can simply pick it up and place it somewhere else without scratching the floor or shifting surrounding items. 10. Stand Mixer Deluxe 2025. The Ambiano Stand Mixer. Deluxe 2025 is getting a lot of attention at Aldi because it's priced at just $49.99, far lower than most full-size mixers on the market. For anyone who bakes at home, this mixer handles both light and heavy mixtures reliably, without requiring a big investment in high-end equipment. Right out of the box, it feels solid. The body is made of sturdy metal, and the mixing bowl is stainless steel, giving it a look and feel that's far from cheap, especially considering the price. The mixer offers multiple speed levels, and the motor responds smoothly as you switch between them. The tilt head mechanism feels firm and doesn't wobble when lifted or lowered, which adds confidence for long-term use. For simple tasks like whipping cream, mixing cookie dough, or making whipped toppings, the machine works quickly and evenly. Even softer bread dough mixes more steadily than with most handheld mixers. The mixing bowl has a generous capacity, enough for larger batches for family gatherings or small parties. When the mixer is running, the bowl stays steady, so you don't need to hold it in place. The beaters and attachments snap in easily, and for cleanup, you simply rinse them under warm water. The main body only needs a light wipe down. The biggest highlight is the price. Full-size stand mixers often cost several $100s, so this one is perfect for beginners or households that want something stronger than a handheld mixer without spending too much. 9. Barissimo Frozen Frappe Cubes. This is a great option for anyone who enjoys cold, lightly creamy drinks but doesn't want to spend time or money buying one at a cafe every time. Barissimo Frozen Frappe. Cubes are becoming a popular buy at Aldi because they cost around $5.69, yet the result tastes similar to a drink you'd get from a coffee shop. They're simple to use. Just drop a few cubes into milk or coffee, blend for about 30 seconds, and you'll have a smooth, cold, well-balanced frappe. This makes busy mornings easier since you don't need to prepare multiple ingredients or clean bulky equipment. Convenience is another big advantage. Each bag contains enough cubes for 3 to 4 drinks, ideal for individuals or small households. You can keep them in the freezer and use them anytime without worrying about quick expiration like bottled coffee drinks. For under $6, each homemade frappe comes out to just over $1, much cheaper than buying one at a cafe. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest videos. 8. Ambiano Mini Chopper. The Ambiano Mini Chopper is now on Aldi shelves for about $16.99. And it's a compact tool designed for people who need to prep small portions quickly without pulling out a full-size blender. Its biggest advantage is its size, small but strong enough to chop onions, garlic, and herbs, or prepare small amounts of sauce for dinner. It's lightweight and easy to control with one hand. The clear container lets you see the texture as it blends, so you don't have to stop and check repeatedly. With its simple press-to-operate design, even beginners can use it effortlessly. Just add the ingredients, close the lid, press for a few seconds, and you're done. Another plus is that it runs quieter than many other budget choppers. If you're using it early in the morning or late at night, the noise isn't overwhelming, ideal for apartment living. The blades are sharp enough to handle soft to medium ingredients without getting stuck when processing small portions. The container isn't large, but it's perfect for use on the spot tasks. Mincing garlic, blending a bit of chili, or making a quick dipping sauce. For dishes that require prepping multiple ingredients, this little chopper saves time compared to using a knife and also reduces lingering smells on your hands. The Ambiano Mini Chopper isn't made for heavy-duty jobs like grinding meat or crushing ice, but it covers daily small tasks very well. It's affordable, compact, easy to use, and a great addition for small kitchens, busy cooks, or families who need a quick helper for everyday meal prep. 7. Crofton Large Bamboo Cutting Board. The Crofton Large Bamboo Cutting Board is something many shoppers notice when they see it priced at just $7.99 at Aldi. It's ideal for anyone who wants a wide prep surface without having to constantly shift ingredients around. Its generous size makes it easier to chop vegetables, slice meat, or prep multiple ingredients at once. The first thing you'll notice is the weight. It's not as heavy as thick wooden boards, but it has enough heft to stay steady while you cut. The bamboo surface is smooth and less absorbent, so it doesn't stay damp for long or retain strong odors after washing. The wide cutting surface is a major advantage. It saves time because you don't have to prep in multiple rounds or switch boards repeatedly. Bamboo is also an easy material to clean. After use, just rinse it with warm water and let it air dry. 6. Simply Nature Pumpkin Spice Bread. Simply Nature Pumpkin Spice Bread is one of Aldi's most sought-after fall items whenever seasonal displays start rolling out. It costs just $3.99, but its flavor brings many shoppers back for more because it captures that cold weather mood without a high price tag. It's perfect for breakfast, an afternoon snack, or pairing with a warm cup of coffee on a chilly day. When you open the package, the scent of pumpkin and fall spices, like cinnamon and nutmeg, spreads quickly, creating an immediate sense of warmth. The texture is soft and lightly moist, not dry like many budget-packaged breads. When sliced, the loaf holds its shape well without crumbling. A quick toast or warm up in the oven makes the surface more fragrant, giving it a fresh-baked feel. Convenience is a big reason it's so popular. No mixing, no baking, just open and enjoy. The loaf is a good size for families because it can be divided into multiple servings and lasts for several days with proper storage. Keeping it in an airtight container helps maintain its softness, and the flavor stays consistent even after the package is opened. 5. Ambiano Compact Air Fryer. The Ambiano Compact Air Fryer shows up at Aldi for $24.99, and that's exactly why it gets attention. It's small, simple, and capable enough for everyday meals. For people living alone, students in dorms, or anyone needing a quick cooking appliance, this fryer meets the need without crowding the kitchen. The first impression is the size. It's small and light, easy to place in any corner of the countertop. Moving it or storing it in a cabinet takes little effort. Despite the compact build, the capacity is still suitable for common meals like fries, small chicken thighs, fish fillets, or reheating leftovers. It's perfect for busy days when you want a quick meal without turning on a full-size oven. The controls are very straightforward. The time and temperature dials are clearly marked with no overwhelming presets. Just place the food in the basket, set the levels, and let the fryer handle the rest. Food cooks evenly, with a light golden exterior and tender inside, all with minimal oil. This is why many households switch to air fryers to reduce oil in their meals. The basket's non-stick surface is decent. After cooking, let it cool and rinse with warm water. It cleans up easily. Food doesn't cling much, so cleanup is fast, which is great for anyone who dislikes scrubbing pots after dinner. 4. Chef's Cupboard Gluten-Free Stuffing. Chef's Cupboard. Gluten-free stuffing is a product many shoppers look for when Aldi's holiday items arrive. It's priced at $3.99, yet the flavor surpasses expectations, especially for people familiar with gluten-free stuffings that often turn out dry, crumbly, or lacking the classic aroma. This stuffing is a good option for families with gluten-sensitive members who still want the traditional holiday taste. When prepared according to the instructions, the dried bread pieces expand evenly, absorb seasoning well, and maintain a soft, moist texture. The aroma of butter, onion, celery, and herbs comes through clearly, making it taste closer to homemade stuffing rather than a boxed version. Many first-time buyers are surprised at how real it tastes, without the artificial or bland notes common in some gluten-free options. It's also very convenient. You only need hot water or chicken broth. Mix for a few minutes, and it's ready. During busy evenings or holiday cooking sessions with multiple dishes at once, having a stuffing that comes together quickly while still delivering traditional flavor saves a lot of time. If you want to make it richer, you can add mushrooms, fried onions, or sausage without affecting the texture. 3. Ambiano Espresso Machine. The Ambiano Espresso machine draws a lot of attention when it shows up at Aldi because it's priced at just $49.99. For anyone who enjoys machine-brewed coffee but doesn't want to spend a few $100s on a big unit, this is an accessible option that covers basic morning needs. When you place it on the counter, the first impression is that the machine feels solid. The metal exterior looks clean and sturdy, without the loose or flimsy feel that many budget models have. The machine uses a traditional portafilter and includes a steam wand, allowing you to make basic espresso, cappuccinos, or lattes at home. The steam pressure is strong enough to create a decent layer of crema, not overly thick, but noticeably better than many cheaper mini machines on the market. For those who prefer a bold espresso flavor, the machine pulls a consistent shot that's not watery and not sharply acidic when paired with the right coffee grounds. It's also easy to use. Fill the water reservoir, tamp the grounds, lock the portafilter in place, and press the button. The machine heats up fairly quickly, so you won't be waiting long in the morning. The steam wand performs well enough to create a smooth layer of milk foam, which is ideal for beginners making lattes at home. The compact size is another advantage. It doesn't take up much counter space, making it suitable for small kitchens or apartments. The weight is manageable too, so moving it around or adjusting its placement is easy. 2. Ambiano Humidifier with LED light. The Ambiano humidifier with LED lighting is one of the items that gets a lot of attention when Aldi puts it on shelves for $12.99. It's a compact unit that fits well in a bedroom, on a desk, or in a small living room corner during dry weather, especially in colder months. Despite the low price, its operation and humidifying performance are quite decent for daily use. When turned on, the mist comes out gently and evenly, not so strong that it dampens nearby surfaces. In a small room, humidity improves noticeably within minutes. The machine runs quietly, making it suitable for nighttime use without causing disturbance. People who often experience dry nose, throat irritation, or cracked skin in low humidity usually feel more comfortable after using it for a short time. The color-changing LED light adds a relaxing touch. The glow is soft and not harsh, so it can function as a nightlight or subtle decorative piece. Combined with the mist, the overall atmosphere feels calmer, especially during evenings when you want to unwind without bright lighting. The compact design makes it easy to place anywhere. The tank is simple to remove, and filling or cleaning it isn't complicated. It works well with regular filtered water, as long as you clean it periodically to avoid mineral buildup. While it's not designed for large rooms or long continuous operation, it performs well for 1 to 2 hours in the evening or for a few hours during the day. 1. Bifford Micro Plush Heated Blanket. The Bifford Micro Plush Heated Blanket is often mentioned whenever Aldi enters the colder season, mainly because it costs $24.99, yet feels surprisingly premium for the price. On windy days, chilly evenings, or quiet evenings when you just want extra warmth while watching a movie, this blanket keeps you comfortable without needing to run the heater constantly. The first impression after unfolding it is the softness. The micro plush fabric feels warm to the touch and doesn't have the cold, thin feel that some budget-heated blankets do. When powered on, it warms up quickly and distributes heat evenly across the surface instead of concentrating on one spot. This makes reading, resting, or working in a cool room much more pleasant. The blanket offers multiple heat settings. If you only need a light warmth, the low setting is enough. On colder nights or for people sensitive to cold, increasing the level provides plenty of heat. The controller is compact with simple buttons and easy to adjust even in the dark. Many users note that it reaches a comfortable temperature within just a few minutes, so there's no long waiting time. Another convenience is the auto shutoff feature. This makes nighttime use safer and more reassuring. Since the blanket is fairly lightweight, it's easy to fold and carry to another room whenever needed. The most important thing about all these deals isn't the low prices. It's the feeling you get when a product genuinely solves a need. A small appliance that saves time, a compact kitchen item that makes meals easier, or a seasonal product that warms up your home. That's the real value. Buy fewer things but use them longer, and feel good every time you do. Did this video help you out? Subscribe and help us reach 30,000 subscribers. You can walk into Aldi in 2026 planning to buy nothing more than milk and eggs, but walk out with a food item. Social media is obsessed with restaurants are quietly using, and people are willing to come back for a third time in the same week just to track down. This is no longer the Aldi of cheap food you grab and move on. Aldi is quietly doing something very different, using a small number of powerful products to completely change how people think about low-priced food. What really matters isn't which items are trending, but why they are, from the recipes and ingredients to the supply chain, at a time when everyone wants food that tastes better and feels cleaner without paying restaurant prices. If you've ever believed frozen food was just filler, healthy snacks were bland, or discount supermarkets couldn't set trends, this list will make you rethink the way you buy food altogether. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One whole dipped freeze-dried strawberries. Southern Grove whole freeze-dried strawberries dipped in yogurt. Arrive at exactly the moment when 2026 consumers are burnt out on snacks that taste good but come with guilt. This isn't the kind of snack you finish and immediately regret. It's the kind that leaves you feeling like you made the right choice. The difference starts with the process. The strawberries are harvested at peak ripeness, then freeze-dried to preserve nearly all their vitamins, minerals, and natural flavor. Thanks to their airy structure, the berries are lightly crisp and melt quickly, without the chewiness or sharp sweetness common in traditional dried fruit. The first impression is unmistakably real fruit. What surprises most people is the coating. The cocoa yogurt layer is applied with precision enough to add contrast, but never enough to overpower the fruit. The first bite feels unexpected. The next makes it memorable. This is a genuinely new product, not a familiar snack dressed up in a different way. That's why it isn't just eaten straight from the bag. Many shoppers use it as a topping for acai bowls, overnight oats, or Greek yogurt, turning a single snack into an easy upgrade for everyday meals. At $5.49 at Aldi, this is the kind of product that feels worth it on the first try and different enough that people actively look for it again on future trips. 2 specially selected high-protein Belgian waffles. This is one of the rare protein waffles that makes people forget they're eating a protein product the moment they finish it. You may not realize it, but Aldi's specially selected high-protein Belgian waffles are quietly breaking the biggest myth about healthy breakfast, that taste and fullness have to be a trade-off. On the outside, they look just like bakery-style Belgian waffles, golden surface-defined pockets, and an aroma that hits as soon as they go into the toaster. It's only when you check the label that it stops you for a second. 15 grams of protein per waffle. Most protein waffles on the market come with a familiar downside: they feel more like a supplement than real food. Dry, crumbly, powdery, and often needing heavy syrup or strong toppings just to be enjoyable. Aldi took the opposite approach. They started with the eating experience, true Belgian-style texture, light and airy, and then added protein instead of sacrificing texture just to hit a number. The key is in the formula. Aldi partnered with a European manufacturer using a blend of whey protein, isolate, and pea protein in proportions that preserve the batter's structure. As a result, the waffles toast up lightly crisp on the outside and soft on the inside, without gumminess, without crumbling, and most importantly, without that familiar gym protein smell. What makes this product take off isn't just the protein content, but the way it normalizes healthy food. You can eat it like any regular breakfast, top it with fruit spread, peanut butter drizzle, syrup, or eat it plain when you're short on time. It doesn't force you into a diet or ask you to change your habits. It simply upgrades a familiar breakfast into something better. At around $3.99 per box, these waffles sell out fast, often come with purchase limits, and have become an item many shoppers return to Aldi specifically to hunt down. This isn't a protein waffle for the gym crowd. This is the new breakfast for busy people in 2026, satisfying, filling, and without sacrificing the joy of eating. 3 Emporium Selection Truffle Cheddar. This is the kind of cheese that makes you pause mid-bite, because something feels familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. It's still cheddar-rich, creamy, properly salted, but there's a deeper, slower note underneath, spreading gradually instead of hitting hard like the sharp punch of typical truffle oil. The difference lies in how it's made. Most truffle cheeses on the market are simply regular cheddar or jack, with truffle oil added on the surface. The aroma is strong, but after a few bites it becomes heavy and the artificial feel shows quickly. With Emporium Selection. Truffle cheddar, real truffle, is mixed directly into the curds from the beginning, allowing the flavor to live inside the cheese rather than sit on top for effect. The result is a well-aged cheddar with a firm texture sliced open to reveal small, evenly distributed truffle flecks. When you eat it, the cheese comes first, rich, gently salty, slightly sweet from the milk, and only then does the truffle emerge earthy, umami-driven, and restrained. It doesn't overpower, it lingers. This is a cheese that rewards slow eating, with layers becoming clearer the longer you chew. That restraint is exactly what makes it addictive. You can grate it over pasta, slice it with bread, or eat it on its own, and it works every time. Many home cooks realize they don't need elaborate sauces at all. This cheese alone adds enough depth to carry a dish, at a price that's only a fraction of truffle cheeses sold at specialty shops. Emporium Selection. Truffle cheddar is a textbook example of Aldi's philosophy, not selling luxury through imagery, but through real quality built into the product itself. 4 Park Street Deli Buffalo Chicken Dip. This is one of the very few store-bought dips that people take home, and immediately think this doesn't feel like supermarket food. As soon as Park Street Deli Buffalo Chicken Dip showed up in Aldi's refrigerated section, it quickly became one of the most searched for items, not because of flashy packaging or hype, but because it eats more like something you'd order at a restaurant than something you microwave and serve. If you've ever assumed all buffalo dips are the same, heavy on mayo, aggressively spicy and tiring after a few scoops, this one goes in the opposite direction. It's made with real rotisserie chicken, shredded and blended with cream cheese, buffalo sauce, ranch seasoning, and multiple cheeses to create a smooth, cohesive texture that doesn't separate when heated. Warm it up, and it melts evenly. Scoop it out, and you can still see distinct strands of chicken. It's not mushy, not dry, and not greasy. What really works here is balance. The heat is present but never harsh, and the richness is controlled enough that you can keep eating without feeling overwhelmed. This isn't a dip you power through in a few bites and set aside. It stays enjoyable even when eaten slowly. It works with tortilla chips, celery, roasted potatoes, or even as a topping for a quick dinner. This is a dip people actually use as part of a meal, not something placed on the table just to fill space. At around $3.99 Park Street, Deli Buffalo Chicken Dip quickly earned a spot among Aldi's new punches above its price items. It isn't the cheapest option in the case, but it's very hard to find something with comparable quality, texture, and overall eating experience at this price point. That's why many shoppers come back not to try it out again, but specifically to repurchase the same dip. This is also how Aldi is approaching new products more broadly. No luxury imagery, no long backstory, just food that's good enough for shoppers to recognize the difference the moment they take a bite. Like the video if this one surprised you. 5 Barissimo Cold Brew Concentrate Pods. This is a product line that's making a lot of people rethink how they prepare cold brew every morning. Overnight cold brewing was once considered the gold standard for a smooth, low-acid cup. But as cold brew has shifted from a weekend treat to an everyday drink, that method has started to feel impractical. That gap is exactly where Barissimo Cold Brew Concentrate Pods come in. Instead of pre-bottled cold brew that often tastes diluted or bulky brewing setups that require careful timing, Aldi took a different approach. Fast brewing concentrate pods. Each pod contains ultra-finely ground coffee sealed in a filter pouch. Drop it into a jar, add cold water, give it a light shake, and wait about 10 minutes. The result is a cold brew that's bold, smooth, low in acidity, not harshly bitter, and requires no additional filtering. The Barissimo Cold Brew Concentrate Pods launch with 4 clearly defined options designed for different preferences. Colombian offers a balanced, easy-drinking profile for everyday use. Ethiopian is brighter and more aromatic, ideal for those who prefer their cold brew black. Vanilla Sweet Cream is softer and rounder, well-suited for mixing with milk. Chocolate Caramel is richer and leans toward a dessert-like profile without becoming overly sweet. Each box contains 8 pods and is priced at just under $5. One pod makes about 16 ounces of concentrate, which can be diluted into 2 to 3 drinks depending on how you prepare it. Compared with buying cold brew at cafes or purchasing bottled concentrates from supermarket shelves, this approach is more affordable without sacrificing the drinking experience. 6 Pit Smoked Beef Brisket Pizza. This product marks Aldi's next step in blending classic American food trends with the convenience of frozen meals. It's not just another pizza, it's a true fusion of barbecue culture and Italian-inspired comfort food. The difference starts with the base. Instead of traditional tomato sauce, this pizza uses a pimento cheddar cheese sauce, rich, gently salty, and designed to support the smoked beef brisket rather than compete with it. The brisket is slow-smoked before being added to the pizza with clearly defined strands of meat that don't fall apart and don't develop that typical frozen food smell once baked. Caramelized onions and red bell peppers round things out, adding natural sweetness to balance the richness of the cheese and meat. What makes this pizza stand out isn't piling on toppings, but intentional flavor pairing. The brisket isn't there for decoration. It's the centerpiece, delivering a distinct smoky aroma, usually associated with weekend BBQ joints. When baked properly, the edges of the meat lightly char the cheese bubbles gently, and the crust stays crisp long enough to slice and eat cleanly. Priced from $5.99, Mama Kazi's delivers a frozen dinner experience that goes beyond expectations. This is the kind of pizza that works for busy weeknights when you still want something different, or when your household is tired of the usual pepperoni and cheese rotation. There's no prep, no takeout order yet. The eating experience feels closer to a scaled-down BBQ meal than a just-eat-and-move-on frozen pizza. This product taps directly into a growing trend upgrading frozen food. Shoppers have even started sharing baking tips to get a crispier crust and juicier meat, something rarely seen with mass-market frozen pizzas. 7 Specially Selected French Butter Croissants. Something unusual is happening at Aldi's bakery section. People are no longer buying bread as an afterthought. They're going to Aldi specifically for the baked goods. Not packaged pastries, not reheated items, but croissants baked in-store still warm when slipped into a paper bag. Specially selected French butter croissants don't arrive with much fanfare. They sit behind the bakery counter, but the butter aroma spreads quickly. These croissants are baked directly in the store, not frozen items put out for display. Each morning, staff start early baking batch after batch to keep fresh trays coming out during peak hours. The biggest difference is the butter. Not margarine, not blended fats, but French-style butter, the kind that creates a thin, crisp exterior that gives a soft crackle when broken, with clearly defined layers inside that are tender and aromatic. This is the kind of croissant that doesn't need jam or extra spreads. Eating it plain is more than enough. At $1.49 per croissant, many shoppers pause and reconsider their expectations. At this price point, most bakeries outside would offer an industrial croissant reheated for warmth. Aldi's version feels like a real bakery product eaten hot. Eaten immediately, and eaten because it's genuinely good, not just because it's cheap. What's especially interesting is how this product has drawn in a completely new group of customers. People who previously paid little attention to discount supermarkets. When a croissant is good enough to be compared with local French bakeries, the idea that Aldi food is only good for the price starts to fall apart. 8 Specially Selected Marinara Sauce. For years, jarred marinara has been associated with overly sweet flavors, sharp acidity, and long ingredient lists. But in 2026, one budget-friendly jar is making people rethink how they choose pasta sauce. Aldi's Specially Selected Marinara Sauce doesn't try to impress with flashy packaging or heavy marketing. Its strength lies in a stripped-down approach. San Marzano tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, onion, garlic, basil, sea salt, and black pepper. No added sugar, no citric acid, no flavor adjusters are used to mask poor quality tomatoes. Twist the lid, and you get the aroma of naturally ripe tomatoes, rich and clean, without that harsh acidic bite. Once heated, the sauce thickens just enough to cling well to pasta without feeling heavy. The sweetness comes from ripe tomatoes, while the gentle acidity provides a solid base for meat, cheese, or seafood rather than overpowering them. It's the kind of marinara you can use across the board, toss with pasta, on a busy weeknight spread as a pizza base, or pour straight over meatballs without needing to tweak the seasoning. Priced well below many premium jars on the shelf. Specially Selected doesn't ask you to trade flavor for savings. Instead, it raises a simple question. If a cheaper sauce can still deliver clean ingredients and balanced flavor, why pay extra just for the comfort of a familiar brand names? Nova Loven Fresh Sourdough Batard, Aldi's Loven. Fresh sourdough batard doesn't follow the usual industrial bread formula. From the outside, the loaf has a deep golden brown crust with natural cracking and no oily shine. Slice it open, and you'll see uneven air pockets, a sign of real fermentation rather than fast-risen dough. The aroma carries the mild tang of true sourdough, balanced and never overpowering the wheat. What makes this bread stand out is how Aldi handles the process. The loaf is par-baked first, then finished in-store. This method preserves the structure and flavor of traditional sourdough while ensuring the bread still has life when it hits the shelf, a crisp crust when reheated with a soft, gently chewy interior that avoids the dry, crumbly texture common in fully packaged breads. On the plate, the Loven Fresh Sourdough Batard feels spot on. The crust is crisp without being tooth-breaking. The crumb has just enough chew to hold butter, cheese, or soup without turning soggy. It's a loaf you can eat plain with salted butter, pair with eggs in the morning, or slice thick for sandwiches without being overshadowed by the fillings. At around $2.89, the price alone challenges assumptions. For that amount at an artisan bakery, you'd usually get a small loaf or even just a slice. The Loven Fresh Sourdough Batard delivers an experience close to real bakery bread while still being convenient enough to serve as an everyday staple. 10 Belmont Bourbon Butter Pecan Ice Cream. Some desserts reveal right away whether they were made just to exist or made to be remembered. With butter pecan ice cream, that line usually comes down to two things: real butter and the richness of the cream base. And it's precisely in these two areas that a budget-priced product is making people stop and think. Belmont Bourbon Butter Pecan Ice cream appears in Aldi's seasonal ice cream lineup, but the experience doesn't feel seasonal at all. This isn't the bland butter pecan made with dry pecans and artificial butter flavoring. From the very first spoonful, real bourbon comes through, clearly not harsh or boozy, but warm and deep, more like the lingering finish of a light after-dinner drink. The biggest difference lies in how the pecans are treated. They're roasted with butter and brown sugar, forming a thin, caramelized coating that's fragrant and lightly crisp. When folded into the high-fat custard base, the pecans don't disappear or crumble, they keep their structure and distinct flavor. The ice cream itself is dense and smooth, not airy or fluffy like cheaper industrial ice creams, delivering a texture much closer to premium brands. The bourbon here isn't just a flavor accent. It adds depth to the butter notes, softens the sweetness, and gives the overall profile a more mature balance. This is ice cream meant to be eaten slowly after a meal, not something you grab just to cool off. That's why so many people do a double take when they see the price $4.99 per pint. A range usually associated with basic ice cream, not one with this level of structure and complexity. Look at these hot items for what they really are, and you'll see this isn't a trend-chasing list. These 10 products reflect how consumers are eating and choosing food in 2026, fewer compromises, more awareness, but still a desire for flavor and enjoyment. From bread and sauce to ice cream, pizza, and snacks, the common thread is accessibility and price with a noticeably elevated experience. That's why these items don't just sell well for a moment, they have the staying power to become new staples in Aldi shoppers' carts. Which new food in the video surprised you the most? Aldi is changing faster than you think. And if you just stop by, grab a few items and head out, chances are you're missing the money-saving tricks that true Aldi pros use every single week. From little-known refund policies and limited-time deals that disappear within hours to new rules that directly affect your wallet, these updates are quietly reshaping how people shop at this famous budget-friendly grocery chain. Once you understand the tips and changes below, every Aldi trip becomes cheaper, quicker, and far more efficient. Let's see if you're ready to become a smarter Aldi shopper. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Hunt Aldi finds and understand the minimalist signage. If you've been to Aldi a few times, you probably know the thrill of stumbling upon an Aldi finds item that's surprisingly unique and unbelievably cheap. But what many shoppers don't realize is that this section rotates constantly. And if you're not familiar with Aldi's minimalist signage, you'll likely walk right past the best deal of the week without even noticing. Aldi doesn't use big flashy banners or loud sales signs like other stores. Their signage is extremely pared down, simple price tags, soft colors, and just enough information to identify the product. It keeps the store uncluttered, but it also makes it harder for new shoppers to spot high-value deals. Aldi finds are placed on shelves that change weekly, featuring everything from kitchen gadgets and home goods to seasonal foods. Quantities are very limited. Once they sell out, they're gone for good, and restocks are rare. That's why learning how to read their subtle signage helps you instantly recognize limited-time deals. A quick trick is to look for price tags with a different background color or slightly more detailed descriptions. These typically mark the weekly finds. Many shoppers love Aldi's signage because it's straightforward. Price, origin, weight, and sometimes a short description. No clutter, no distractions, no unnecessary marketing. It speeds up your trip and keeps you from being overwhelmed by impulse buy displays. But to get the most out of it, you do have to look a little more carefully. Another tip: go early in the day or early in the week. That's when Aldi finds are freshly stocked, giving you the best chance to snag the good, cheap, limited items before they disappear. 2. Twice as nice guarantee. One big reason many shoppers switch to Aldi is the feeling that there's almost no risk. And that's thanks to the twice as nice guarantee, one of the most generous policies in the grocery industry. Here's the simple version. If you're not satisfied with a private label Aldi product, they don't just give you a refund, they also replace the product on the spot. No interrogation, no awkward questions, and no annoyed employees staring at you. Aldi wants you to try things, and they're confident enough in the quality to back it with a double guarantee. This makes experimenting with new products a lot less stressful. Ever stood in front of a shelf wondering whether you should try a new sauce, a funky snack, or an unfamiliar frozen meal? With twice as nice, you have a safety net. Worst case, you don't like it and get your money back. Best case, you discover something new you love at a great price. There is one key detail, though. Twice as nice only applies to Aldi's private label items. For name brand products, you can still get a refund if you're not satisfied, but you won't receive a replacement item. This is Aldi's way of encouraging customers to embrace their private label system, which is exactly what allows them to offer low prices without compromising quality. 3. Check store hours and special shopping times. One thing many Aldi shoppers overlook is that store hours aren't consistent from one location to another. It sounds simple, but it's the reason plenty of people show up only to find the doors closed or the store minutes away from shutting down. Unlike large chains with fixed hours, Aldi adjusts its schedule based on region, day of the week, and even the season. So checking the hours before you go isn't just a habit. It saves you time and helps you plan a smoother, more efficient shopping trip. Another key detail is the special quiet hours offered at certain locations. These time slots are designed for seniors or shoppers who need a calmer, less crowded environment. Some Aldi stores activate these hours during seasonal transitions, flu season, or when local health guidelines recommend it. For anyone who needs extra space or avoids crowded aisles, these designated hours can make a huge difference. Knowing these time windows also helps you avoid the busiest hours. If you prefer a get in, get out kind of shopping trip, going early in the morning or near closing time will completely change the experience. Since Aldi stores aren't very large, a crowded moment can make it difficult to reach certain items, especially limited-time deals or the Aldi Find section. Shopping at the right time not only avoids the rush but also increases your chances of grabbing newly stocked items. Aldi also makes this easier with the store locator tool on its website and app. In a few seconds, you can check opening and closing times, special hours, and even locate the closest store. This is especially helpful on a busy day, or when you're trying to find a location that's less crowded on weekends. 4. Bring your own bags and use free cardboard boxes. If you're used to shopping at big grocery chains, you might be surprised the first time you reach Aldi's checkout and realize there are no free bags. This isn't a mistake. It's part of the system that allows Aldi to keep prices low and reduce waste. Instead of including bag costs in product pricing, Aldi gives shoppers the choice. Bring your own bags, grab a free cardboard box, or buy a paper or plastic bag for a few cents. Simple, but over time, This habit saves a noticeable amount of money. Bringing reusable bags doesn't just cut costs. It makes the bagging process faster and far more convenient. Sturdy fabric or thick plastic bags hold more, stack better, and are easier to organize than thin paper bags. When you're at the bagging counter after checkout, you'll immediately see the benefit. You can sort produce, dry goods, and fragile items exactly the way you want without waiting for a cashier to do it. A pro tip for frequent Aldi shoppers: always keep a few reusable bags in your trunk. No reminders, no planning. They're simply there when you need them. And if you shop in bulk or have a full cart, reusable bags dramatically reduce the risk of tears or items tipping over on the way home. In addition to bags, Aldi lets you use the empty cardboard boxes left from stocking shelves. This is a smart option if you forgot your bags or bought heavy items like drinks, canned goods, or frozen foods. Cardboard boxes keep items stable in the car and are easier to load into the trunk. Just check the produce section or dry goods aisle. You'll almost always find neat, clean boxes available for free. Like the video if this surprised you. 5. No coupons accepted. One thing that surprises many first-time Aldi shoppers isn't the low prices or the minimal store layout. It's getting to the checkout and realizing the coupons you brought don't work here. But here's the interesting part. Instead of putting you at a disadvantage, this policy is actually one of the main reasons Aldi can keep prices consistently low all year long, without relying on flashy short-term deals or complicated promotions. Aldi cuts out coupons entirely to avoid the hidden costs that come with marketing programs, reward systems, and processing discount codes. By eliminating all those overheads, they can reinvest the savings directly into everyday pricing. So every customer benefits, not just the people who chase discounts. It sounds simple, but that simplicity is a big part of what makes the Aldi shopping experience lighter and more straightforward. Another upside: you don't waste time comparing which items are on sale, which coupon is about to expire, or how many you need to buy to unlock a discount. The price on the shelf is already the best price. No strategy, no stress. For busy shoppers, this is a huge win. You get in, grab what you need, and get out in the shortest amount of time. Not accepting coupons also speeds up checkout dramatically. Cashiers don't have to deal with invalid codes, fine print, or price adjustments. They can simply scan and move on, which is one of the reasons Aldi has some of the fastest checkout lines in the industry, even during peak hours. 6. No additive foods and the Simply Nature line. Many people come to Aldi for the low prices, but what keeps them coming back is the food quality, especially the large selection of items with no artificial colors, no synthetic additives, and no unnecessary preservatives. This isn't a marketing slogan. It's a core part of Aldi's long-term strategy: make cleaner, more transparent food accessible without raising the grocery bill. That mission is clearest in Aldi's Simply Nature line, created specifically for shoppers who want healthier choices but still need to stay on budget. Simply Nature covers a wide range of everyday essentials: pantry staples, cereals, snacks, yogurt, frozen foods, and even seasonings. The standout feature isn't fancy packaging or big advertising campaigns. It's the ingredient list: simple, clean, and easy to understand. A quick glance is enough to know whether a product fits your family's needs without decoding a long list of unfamiliar additives. The surprising part is the price. Even with clean label standards, Simply Nature products remain extremely affordable. Aldi pulls this off by keeping everything private label and cutting unnecessary operational costs. No heavy marketing, no oversized displays, no big promotional budgets. Products go straight from supplier to shelf, preserving the core value: consistent quality at a reasonable price. For anyone trying to reduce processed foods or find healthier options for family meals, the Simply Nature section is absolutely worth exploring. From kid-friendly snacks to olive oil, tomato sauce, breakfast cereal, and more, every item focuses on transparency and minimalism in its formula. This is especially helpful for shoppers with allergies, dietary restrictions, or anyone who prefers knowing exactly what's in their food. 7. The power of private label: 90% of products. When people talk about Aldi's low prices, they often credit the small stores, the lean staffing, or the streamlined operations. But the biggest reason is something most shoppers don't notice: Aldi has essentially built its own ecosystem of private label brands. Nearly 90% of everything on the shelves is private label, and that's the core advantage that lets Aldi keep prices low while maintaining consistent quality. Instead of carrying hundreds of big-name brands and absorbing the costs that come with them, Aldi works directly with manufacturers and controls the recipes, packaging, and quality standards themselves. This allows them to eliminate all the invisible expenses tied to brand marketing, distributor margins, and shelf placement fees. The result? Every dollar saved goes straight into lower prices, and shoppers see the benefit immediately on their very first trip. Interestingly, Aldi's private labels don't feel like the cheap alternatives you'd expect. Many are rated equal to, or even better than, well-known brands. Lines like Simply Nature, Specially Selected, and Live G-Free have huge followings. Some products have even become insider favorites, such as Winking Owl Wine or Aldi's unique snack flavors that cost half of what big brands charge. Private label also lets Aldi move fast. When customers love something, Aldi can expand the line or tweak the recipe immediately without waiting for a national brand to make a decision. And if an item doesn't sell, they can drop it quickly to avoid long-term inventory drag. This flexibility keeps Aldi's assortment tight, efficient, and focused only on products that truly perform. 8. Products for special diets: vegan, keto, gluten-free. Anyone who has ever followed a special diet knows the struggle. Eating right often means paying more, sometimes double the price of regular groceries. That's why many shoppers are pleasantly surprised to discover that Aldi is one of the easiest places to buy diet-friendly foods without breaking the budget. For gluten-free shoppers, Live G-Free is one of the most respected store brands in the category. What makes it stand out isn't just the affordable price, but the consistent taste, reliability, and wide selection, from pasta, bread, and pizza to snacks. For people with gluten allergies or anyone trying to cut back, Live G-Free lets them enjoy familiar meals without sacrificing flavor or overspending. For plant-based eaters, Aldi offers the Earth-Grown line. You'll find plant-based burgers, vegan nuggets, dairy-free milks, and even vegan desserts, all at a fraction of what major brands charge. This is a huge help for families testing out a plant-forward lifestyle but not ready to spend heavily just to experiment. Keto and low-carb shoppers also get plenty of support. Aldi carries low-carb breads, keto-friendly snacks, and even desserts designed for sugar-conscious eaters. These items are often expensive or hard to find in specialty stores, but Aldi provides them at far more accessible prices. 9. German Week and imported goods. If you've ever visited Aldi at just the right time, you've probably seen a shelf suddenly become much more exciting than usual. That's German Week, the moment Aldi brings a full wave of German flavors into the store at prices that make many shoppers come back for more. Even though it only happens a few times a year, German Week always draws big attention because the items are unique, high quality, and far cheaper than what you'd find at specialty import stores. The appeal of German Week isn't just a handful of novelty items. It's the variety. Bratwurst, Schnitzel, giant pretzels, Spätzle, European pastries, and even certain imported beers. These products don't appear year-round, so the limited edition nature only increases shoppers' curiosity. Many people treat it as a chance to refresh their weekly meals without having to order from expensive European shops. Aldi's imported German products also maintain consistent quality because many come directly from manufacturers in Germany, known for strict food standards. And of course, the pricing is a major highlight. Aldi's German Week items are significantly cheaper than similar products sold at dedicated import stores. Beyond German Week, Aldi brings in seasonal or regional specialties from Italy, Mexico, Greece, and even parts of Asia. This creates a sense of surprise and discovery every time you shop. Home cooks get access to interesting ingredients, and snack lovers have endless new items to try. You also can't ignore the cost factor. Skipping bagging services allows Aldi to reduce staffing, cut operating expenses, and keep prices lower. This is a big reason why Aldi consistently ranks among the most affordable grocery chains, even without flashy sales or weekly promotions. Interestingly, once people get used to Aldi's checkout system, many find it hard to go back to traditional grocery shopping. The speed, The streamlined process and the lack of long wait times create a grocery shopping without the hassle experience. For busy families, that convenience is incredibly valuable. 10. Fast checkout and self-bagging. If you're used to long checkout lines at other supermarkets, the experience at Aldi will feel completely different. Cashiers scan items incredibly fast, and the reason is simple. Most packaging has multiple barcodes. They don't have to spin the product around looking for the right spot. One quick pass, and it scans instantly. This keeps checkout lines moving smoothly without interruptions. When it's time to pay, you'll notice a signature part of the Aldi system. Cashiers don't bag your groceries. They scan items and place them back into your cart. This speeds up the entire process since there's no stopping to organize bags. As a result, lines stay short even during busy hours. Right after the register, you'll find a designated area where customers bag their own groceries. Although this may seem unusual compared to traditional supermarkets, it comes with real benefits. You can organize items exactly the way you want. Frozen foods together produce separate and fragile items on top. No rushed bagging, no crushed items, and no waiting for someone else to do it. If you forget your reusable bags, you can use the free cardboard boxes available throughout the store. These boxes are sturdy and perfect for heavier items like canned goods, beverages, or frozen products. Just check the shelves near the dry goods or produce area. You'll almost always find empty boxes ready to take. Thanks to this streamlined checkout model, wait times are significantly reduced. Aldi can handle a high volume of customers without needing dozens of registers open. Lower labor costs translate directly into lower product prices, one of Aldi's biggest advantages. Many shoppers find that once they get used to the Aldi system, it's actually more efficient than traditional stores. No long lines, no waiting for bagging, and everything moves fast and predictably. If you often shop during busy hours, fast checkout is easily one of Aldi's most valuable perks. When you understand how Aldi operates and take advantage of these simple strategies, every shopping trip becomes easier and much more affordable. You don't just save money, you also avoid the common hassles, from odd store hours to missing limited-time deals. There's always something new to discover at Aldi. And when you shop smart, both your wallet and your time benefit. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? You may have heard hundreds of people praise Aldi for its low prices, but very few shoppers, especially older customers, realize that behind every shopping trip are hidden factors that can either save you hundreds of dollars or quietly cost you more without you even noticing. In the next few minutes, you'll understand exactly what Aldi does exceptionally well, which products are worth buying, which ones you should avoid, and the insider tricks that help smart shoppers stay one step ahead. If you or your loved ones shop at Aldi, what comes next may completely change the way you see this store. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Aldi's operational secrets. Many people walk into Aldi and wonder how the prices can be so low. But when you look closely at how the store operates, you'll see everything is designed with purpose and efficiency. The first example is the quarter deposit shopping cart system. It may feel inconvenient at first, but it eliminates the need for Aldi to hire employees to collect carts like other major supermarkets. Lower labor costs mean lower prices for customers. Inside the store, you'll notice something else. Aldi doesn't hire large teams. Each employee is trained to handle multiple roles, stocking shelves, running the register, and assisting customers when needed. Their workflow is fast, streamlined, and never wasteful. This is why Aldi cashiers can scan an entire cart of groceries in the time it takes you to find your wallet. Another secret is that Aldi carries only about 1,400 products. That sounds small, but this simplicity means they don't have to manage tens of thousands of SKUs like other chains. Fewer choices, but each one is affordable, high quality, and consistent. And more importantly, older shoppers don't have to stand in front of a shelf with dozens of cereal options trying to pick the right one. Then there's the store layout. Small, simple, short aisles. You don't have to walk half a mile just to get milk and a loaf of bread. It saves time and energy, especially for seniors. None of this is accidental. Aldi cuts out everything customers don't need so they can invest in what customers want most: good prices and consistent quality. This is the operational secret that not every supermarket is willing to follow. 2. The power of 70 private label brands. Many people assume Aldi is cheap because it cuts corners, but the truth goes much deeper. The real reason Aldi maintains such affordable prices comes from a strategy that very few supermarkets commit to fully: creating a massive lineup of private label brands and letting them compete directly with big-name products. This is the true secret weapon that keeps Aldi strong even as prices everywhere else skyrocket. Instead of relying on well-known brands with huge advertising budgets, Aldi creates its own versions. Same formulas, same familiar flavors, but without the inflated branding costs. That's why you can pick up 2 bottles of apple juice, taste them, and barely tell the difference between the national brand and Aldi's version, until you check your receipt and see you saved nearly half the price. What's interesting is that Aldi doesn't try to hide this. They understand something many retailers won't admit. If a product is good enough, customers will come back. Older shoppers feel this even more. On a fixed income, every dollar saved matters. A jar of pasta sauce, a box of crackers, or a pack of spaghetti from Aldi may not be the brand you see on TV, but it's the brand your wallet appreciates the most. Because Aldi controls the entire process from formula to packaging, they're able to keep quality consistent over time. Whether you buy it this week or next month, the taste is nearly the same. And that consistency is what gradually convinces many customers to switch over completely to private label products without feeling like they're missing out on anything. 3. Aldi products that are truly worth buying. When talking about Aldi, you can't ignore the category of products that offer genuine bang for your buck. Items that almost everyone agrees are impressively affordable without sacrificing quality. What surprises many shoppers is that most of these products come from Aldi's private label brands, yet loyal customers often rate them higher than big-name competitors. Let's start with fruit juices, a category that keeps customers coming back. Aldi's apple and grape juices taste natural, light, and not overly sweet. For older adults who need to limit sugar but still want a refreshing glass of juice in the morning, these options are ideal. The price is usually 30 to 40% lower than name brands, while the drinking experience is just as satisfying. Next are tomato sauces and pasta sauces. This is often the first category people switch to Aldi for, simply because the difference is almost impossible to detect. Many families report that they replaced their old sauce brand with Aldi's version, and no one at home even noticed. For those who cook regularly, especially older shoppers who prefer simple but flavorful dinners, this is the kind of item you buy once and never look back on. Crackers and snacks are also standouts. Some varieties are praised for having a crispier texture and more consistent flavor than national brands. The smaller box sizes are perfect for 1 or 2 people, reducing the risk of waste. For a light afternoon tea or pairing with soup, these snacks are budget-friendly and surprisingly satisfying. Breakfast cereals deserve mention too. No frills, not overly sweet, and free from excessive additives. The flavors are familiar and comforting, great for anyone who wants a quick and easy breakfast. Older shoppers appreciate not having to choose from dozens of confusing options like at larger supermarkets. Moving to the frozen section, Aldi scores again with pre-cut vegetables, potatoes, and frozen fruits. Quality is consistent, prices are low, and these items work perfectly for older adults who cook small portions but still want balanced nutrition. For anyone cooking for 1 or 2 people, these compact frozen bags are far more practical than buying large quantities of fresh produce that may spoil. Speaking of frozen foods, meatballs, mini pizzas, and other convenient items are also worth considering. Not every frozen item is outstanding, but the ones with long-standing positive reviews from loyal customers are definitely worth trying. The flavors are moderate and not overly salty, a good fit for older adults who need to monitor sodium intake. Another simple but highly praised item: sandwich bread and soft rolls. Many shoppers say they have a soft texture, stay fresh longer, and don't crumble when spreading butter or jam. Prices are consistently lower than major brands, while breakfast quality stays the same. Lastly, pantry staples like pasta, rice, and bagged beans are excellent value buys. They're consistent, easy to cook, free from odd smells, and especially convenient for small households. Older adults often purchase these regularly, and saving even a few cents each time truly adds up over the year. What all Aldi must-buy products have in common is not that they are cheap alternatives, but that they deliver exactly what customers actually want: familiar flavors, consistent quality, and a price that doesn't cause stress at checkout. For weekly essentials, switching to Aldi versions can significantly reduce grocery spending without compromising the eating experience. And for older shoppers, the simplicity, easy to choose, easy to use, is an even bigger advantage during every supermarket trip. Like the video if this surprised you. 4. Aldi products you should probably avoid. Not every item at Aldi is good, cheap, worth it. And to avoid bringing home products that leave you disappointed the moment you open them, especially for older shoppers who prefer compact portions, minimal waste, and dependable quality, here are the categories you should think twice about before adding them to your cart. Let's start with certain soft drinks and flavored beverages. The price is definitely low, but the flavors can be hit or miss, sometimes too sweet, sometimes too bland, and often lacking the familiar taste of major name brands. For older adults who need to limit sugar or prefer traditional flavors, Aldi's sodas, sparkling waters, and juice blends can be disappointing from the very first sip. A safer approach is to buy a single can to test before committing to a full pack. Next is dairy, milk, yogurt, and soft cheeses. Quality can vary significantly depending on the shipment and timing. One day, you might find a delicious creamy yogurt. A few days later, the same item might have a short expiration date or a texture that's no longer stable. For fresh dairy products, especially whole milk or unsweetened milk for older adults, it's important to check expiration dates carefully or opt for smaller sizes. In the produce section, canned fruit, pre-packaged salads, and pre-cut produce are also debated categories. Aldi's fresh items are often packed in large quantities, great for big families but not ideal for seniors or anyone who cooks small meals. A big box of grapes or a 3 lb bag of apples may look cheap up front, but after a few days, half the bag might end up in the trash. Pre-made salads also vary, sometimes fresh, sometimes slightly wilted due to inconsistent storage. A low price doesn't matter if you have to throw away half the product. Another category that often receives complaints is seasonings and budget versions of specialty sauces. Items like BBQ sauce, seasoning mixes, soy sauce, or sesame oil sometimes lack the bold, familiar flavor you're used to, which can throw off an entire dish. For traditional recipes or meals you've perfected over the years, switching to Aldi versions can result in flavors that just feel off. Many shoppers also report issues with baguettes, rolls, and some ready-made pastries. The problem isn't the taste, it's the texture. They dry out quickly, harden overnight, or crumble when sliced. If you plan to eat them immediately, they're fine. But if you leave them until the next day, the quality drops noticeably. Moving into frozen foods, some ready-made meals or healthy-style items from sub-brands can be underwhelming. They often look great on the packaging, but once cooked, they're bland or come in smaller portions than expected. Several older customers have tried multiple items and concluded that it's often better to cook a simple homemade meal. Lastly, there's a group of products that seem harmless. Ultra-cheap household items like trash bags, paper towels,